All right. Welcome, folks. It's episode number
Welcome,
22, and it is February 3rd,
sir.
2021.
2021.
Yeah.
Is this the first episode of 2021? I think it is.
Yeah, it is, ironically
It
enough.
is the first episode of the year on February 3rd. Wow. We're late to the party.
Yeah, a lot's really happened in the real world and on the site, so we're going to have our work cut out for us today.
Sir.
At least I'm
Yeah,
sober
we
for
got a really
this.
good episode.
If I wasn't sober, this might be rough. So, I think I'll just take a
Yeah,
CBD oil
I'm
for
not
good
super
luck.
high either.
Yeah, you shouldn't be, because yeah, this is gonna be a long one, so
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
might be going in the 3 hour range.
Site news
Site news. Where do we even
as
begin?
our first topic. Uh First on the agenda, saga news. What the fuck is going on in the saga? Well, we don't have a saga going on, but guess what, folks? Season 1 of Dragon Ball Legends officially over. We have finally completed the first major story arc on Dragon Ball Legend.
Yeah, that's right. This it's very interesting because the Stellar Saiyans was an extension of the last saga, the Battle of Earth and the Turles
Yeah,
invasion.
it wasn't necessarily a saga in and of itself, but it was such a good story and it's such a logical extension of what happened in and after the saga that we
Yeah,
were just like, you know what, we're gonna make the Stellar Saiyan saga part
it's
of
so good.
main
I think
saga.
if we ever made another reincarnation of Dragon Ball Legends, we probably have like real official canon now. Because if we ever did Legends again, like a 2.0, I would want to do the Turles saga and the Stellar Saiyan saga over again. Like it's that
Yeah,
fucking
man,
good.
because because if you know either me or Rom, you know we love the fucking Axis Saiyan Empire
Yeah,
arc that we used to do back on
yeah,
older sites, and
yeah.
so the Stellar Saiyans and even the Turles Saga
It's like a
in general
competent version.
it seems like a more competent, logical conclusion as to where the Axis Saiyans would have went if it had not been for certain characters' interventions,
Yeah.
certain things being, fucked up in the plot. But it's like even with all the challenges, for lack of a better term, the challenges we faced
Oh,
in the
let's
initial
let, let's
saga.
let's list the challenges. Okay, we had a site feud, a civil war.
Yeah, pretty much a site civil war, which was the cause of death on the last Legends. Ironically enough,
Yeah.
a site feud is what caused the last Legends to die. So it was so ironic that we had another one that nearly caused. Well, I wouldn't say the death of the site, but it nearly caused a mass exodus of a lot of people.
It was
But
close.
it ultimately didn't. It just resulted in a few people
Yeah.
no longer being with us. Not dead, but
Disgruntled.
yeah,
Well, one
disgruntled.
one side had to win, so
Probably.
there was gonna be disgruntled people no matter who won. I mean, it could have been us that were
Yeah. So
disgruntled. So
yeah. So and at this point, I've determined either they've moved on to other fandoms or they just got
yeah,
disinterested with writing. So I don't think it's a personal thing. I'm not gonna name any names.
yeah,
If you've been following the episodes, you probably know who they are anyway. But
yeah. You know I don't name
but like
drop.
I
You
said,
know
I'm not
I'm a good boy. I don't. You know I don't do
gonna.
that
So
shit.
so, but yeah, we finally finished season 1. The finale was yesterday. It
Yeah.
concluded with a an epic battle between the Z Teens and Romanus, their first
I.
real,
You know
true
what?
enemy.
I got a comment. You do sound a lot happier. Like this is one of the episodes where you seem the happiest. Because sometimes you just seem like mad as fuck. But I think you're kind of happy that everything kind of came together. So you're getting,
Well,
you're
it
kind of.
came
It's
together
almost like you made
exactly
your
as I
first
wanted it
movie.
to come.
Yeah, it's almost like you were the director of your own movie. Maybe I was like
Yeah.
co-director and support, and it all came together. So now it's like, now when we want to work on other projects, we have that confidence. Like, oh, we can do this, and it can take like a few months to accomplish. Cause dude, this has felt like it's been Has it been almost? When did the Turles invasion start?
I think. Let me go. Let me go look at the saga
That's
timeline.
why it feels so long, because it really never. There was no definite end, because it's like when Corona and Romanus, you know, and the Stellar
Yeah, they
Saiyans.
dipped out as soon as the battle ended.
Yeah,
Let me see.
I had a lot of
Go to the.
inspiration from that. Really, the inspiration came from 0083 Stardust Memories. Like Blues, if you ever watch that show, you'll see like Corona's. You'll see certain characters that I've kind of got an inspiration from, and just like the remnants of Xeon fighting
All right,
on.
the first C-Box RP of the saga, when Saiyan hunters become hunted.
Oh, that was
June
when
24th, June 24th, 2020.
June 24th. So it's literally been about 7 months. Jesus, 7 months, man. And we did it,
7-month long saga.
motherfuckers. Like
And set.
fucking abandon us, or like they became inactive, and it was literally just me and you. Like it's literally a testament, and in a way I wouldn't want it any other way, because it's like at least we know that if things ever get really like low activity, we could just do things ourselves. Now I don't want it to always be like that, but at least I know I can do it if I really have to, and so can you. So yeah, it worked out. I'm satisfied with it. I really am. I really am.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it had everything, man. There was a side quest with Rodazu and Iris. There was just so much going on, and stopping at the New Haven, and then discovering, this underground. Like it was good. It was really good, man. There was nothing I didn't like about it, because there was fighting, there was traveling, there were spaceships, there were space battles, but nothing ever overcompensated for anything else. Like it felt like a space, almost like a space version of what DBZ usually is, which is focused on Earth. This was kind of like a galactic wide version of DBZ, you know.
This was, and see, it worked out even better because if you remember when we started doing that Radazu side quest, I was kind of mad because I wanted him to just go
Yeah.
and like, all right, yeah,
I
let's go take
told
out
you.
these space
Bro, I
pirates
told you back then
so we can have him go take over Planet Cold, and it was gonna be completely fucking different.
Yeah.
Like the members know that this season 1 finale would have been completely fucking different
Yeah,
had it not been for Radazu going off on that space pirate quest.
Yeah, I kind of knew that you might eventually come around to liking it. And it actually turned out very well. The irony is, if Radazu, Corsa, and Maze had been on Sadala when the Z-Teens had come, I don't know if they would have won. In a way, the mistakes and sending off Corsa and Maze on that secret mission, it's almost like the Stellar Saiyans made mistakes without knowing it, because they didn't know that the Z-Teens were coming for them. They had really been blindsided ever since the Galactic Patrolman had spied on them and figured out their plans. They got blindsided on the Battle of Kanassa. They got blindsided on New Namek, and then they got really blindsided when the Z-Teens showed up, and then the Sadalans revolted, and some of their own units turned on them. Because, I mean, 90% of the Stellar Saiyans, or even more than that, are Sadalan conscripts. So, I mean, it was just a house of cards ready to go down, man. It really was.
Yep. So. And it tied back in to the end of the saga when Oob and Turles faced each other at the fucking... Oob and Romanus faced each other at the fucking Tree of Might.
Yeah. Yeah, it really came full circle, and now in this aftermath, like, things have really... Like, all the lore and backstory is really kind of set in to make this unique. It feels unique. Like,
yeah, the aftermath era is going to be like this, the 3 years before the time skip we go to season 2.
It's like
This is gonna be
Khalifa.
the aftermath era.
Even adding like, because today we added like Legends version of Khalifa because Planet Sadala exists, and that really has changed a lot of things. Having Planet Sadala exist has really like changed a lot of things, and now we have a Khalifa who's completely different from really her. I'd say she's better than the fucking Universe 6 version. Like I like this version of her because she's so much ingrained in the plot. Like she was one of the young Sadalan conscripts who was conscripted, and she actually likes the Stellar Saiyans. So her and a few others are like the last of them, and they don't even realize it. And so that's like a side quest plot that's kind of like in the aftermath, and it's really.
And then we got the fucking Ub and Rakutsu going after the Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
They're gonna. That's where they're gonna become like best friends because they're.
This is where Rakutsu really needs to shine, man. He really needs to step it up because, I mean, I'm not even in the shit, you know. So it's not like it's gonna be me and you double teaming enemies. It's gonna be you and him. So yeah, this is time for you and Rakutsu to bond. Shalat might be joining you, so you guys are good, man.
Yeah, Shalat. He might be becoming the king of Sadala soon, since Princess Olive died in the finale.
Yeah, I don't think people were expecting but they were only people I could really kill off. So I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, man. We'll take out all my characters and NPCs.
Moth Violet died. Sorora died, which sparked up Oob's fucking Majin transformation.
She died early too. I kind of wanted to do it early, so that way it would shock you, and so you would kind of not even know what's really going on in your own saga. I kind of tried to and then I kind of told you before that I was thinking about killing off Moth Violet, but I always left it open that I might. So I don't know if it kind of shocked you how he ended up killing her, but I try to make it shocking for the members at least because I don't think any of them were really expecting that shit.
Yeah.
He literally blew her away, and all that was left was a charred wing, and he just threw it on the ground.
Yeah, I know Rakutsu was fucking shocked.
Oh, yeah. I was actually expecting him to get really angry and maybe beat up Romanus for a minute, but he didn't, so. Because he did that last time. So. The only thing that kind of cheapened Moth Violet's death is that she died in the past, but that's been retconned, so, you know, it wasn't as impactful as it could have been, but given the circumstances, it was just the way to go.
Well, her death actually made sense this fucking time, so.
Yeah. Because this is technically her first time dying, you know, so.
Future Trunks and Galactic Patrolman Gia, whatever.
Oh, yeah, they're going
Rex
to...
Corsa.
Well, see, I guess we got to start back at the beginning. I'm sorry if we're not really explaining things very well. It's kind of like, I mean, that's the thing with these episodes. If you're not in the know, you know, unless we go into...
Yeah, this is the first episode. We got to explain things. We got to give people some context.
Yeah, we got to go into excruciating detail so it makes sense for strangers and shit. But, like, basically, right. when Romanus went on campaign... He sent Corsa and Maze in a small light cruiser to New Namek, and basically what Rom was doing is his main forces were going to go to Kanassa and catch the Paragus fleet in orbit around Kanassa off guard and just destroy them. And with that fleet gone, basically it paved the way for him to planet hop to planet Vegeta and take it over, which one of the biggest goals of the Stellar Saiyans was to reunite the Saiyans, you know, both homeworlds.
Yeah.
So what happened is that the Galactic Patrol had been spying on them. They sent basically a reconnaissance ship, and because Saiyans have no concept of this really. I mean, they have communications on their ships and scouters and stuff, but they're not the types to really like care or put value into coding. Like they don't have like an Enigma machine or anything. So they're just like literally telling, you know, they're communicating exactly what they're going to do. And so the Galactic Patrol just got smart and they just eavesdropped in on it. and they knew that Romulus was going to most of his forces were going to be at Canassa, and that's when the Tri-Alliance formed between the Galactic Warlords, the Galactic Patrol, and the Paragus
The Galactic
Kingdom.
Warlords. It was namely Sorbet.
Because
And
they all wanted Rom gone.
Sorbet had kind of broke off from Cooler's empire because Sorbet assumed he was the successor to Frieza's empire when Cooler assumed he was the successor. So it's like a split between Cooler and Sorbet.
And Cooler really couldn't just like stomp over all these warlords because they had like Avocado working for him and stuff, and Avocado is actually pretty strong, so it wasn't
Right.
so easy for Cooler.
Plus, him being back, he knows people like Goku and Gohan exist, so he's not just gonna try and go do all that type of shit. He's like, oh yeah, they could probably come from.
Yeah, and so basically, Romanus could only trust Corsa, his pregnant wife, really with going to Namek and making the wishes because he was afraid that if he had sent Zuka or like anybody else, what would you do if you're an evil Saiyan and your boss sent you? And it's like, okay, you're gonna make these 3 wishes. It's like, well, why don't I just wish myself immortality? So it was forced upon. Like, it wasn't because Romanus is incompetent or he just doesn't give a fuck. I mean, he only could really trust Corsa to make the wishes. And so he sent her and Maze and a few other Saiyans to New Namek. But like I said, the Galactic Patrol had already, intercepted all the communications, so they sent Jaya to intercept, and these 3 Galactic Patrol battle cruisers were chasing this Stellar Saiyan light cruiser, through space, and they eventually were able to basically crash land.
Meanwhile, in the background, Chronoa, the Supreme Kai of Time, knew that Corsa was going to be going to New Namek and using the Dragon Ball.
Deeper. Like, there's levels to this. Like,
yeah, so she knew that Corsa was going to go to New Namek and use the Dragon Balls to revive Turles and shit. And since she sent Future Trunks to go stop the invasion in that timeline to begin with, she basically sent him to New Namek to intercept. He didn't know that the Galactic Patrol was going to be there too, but she basically sent him to go intercept Corsa and stop her from reviving Turles and doing all that. And so basically, we didn't RP it out where we still got to do that, but basically Jaya and Super Saiyan Future Trunks defeat Corsa and and Maze.
If your Future Trunks is as strong as Future Trunks,
he's a Super Saiyan 2.
Oh, okay. I mean, he doesn't even need to be that. He could have been he could have just been an Ascended Saiyan, and he would have been able to wreck.
Well, see, he's a Super Saiyan 2 because in his timeline, he went and trained with the Supreme Kai, and he stopped Majin Buu from coming up, and he's been around.
Oh, I see.
And now he's working with the Time Patrol, and it's like he's a Super Saiyan 2.
But he's not out there to raffle stomp, like people. He's just he's just there to kind of like what was that movie? The Adjustment Bureau. He's exactly like the Time Patrollers are kind of like the Adjustment Bureau.
Like Minority Report.
Have you ever watched the Adjustment Bureau?
I've heard of it. I didn't watch. I don't think I watched.
It's basically the same concept. They adjust the fates of people so that way that they can make the optimum time, timeline.
Right.
So that's kind of what Future Trunks did. He didn't really stop the Stellar Saiyan so much as just because imagine if Romanus had won at the Battle of Canassa. I don't think Future Trunks would have stopped Romanus from taking over Planet Vegeta. He just didn't want.
Yeah, that's just a galactic level thing. Cronoa wanted him to stop her from reviving Turles because that would have been way worse than something like Romanus winning at the Battle of Canassa. Could you imagine if he succeeded
at both? Like, I might still make that alternate timeline, but imagine if Turles had been revived, and then he goes back to Sadala, and there's a statue, and he has an entire army at a new army that he could command. And
and if Goku's already dead, no, it's fucked.
Yeah, it would have been bad.
And Cooler's dead too at that point. Yeah, nobody's gonna stop him.
Yeah, Romanus would be that desperate because he wouldn't really. I mean, like a Saiyan warrior, he doesn't really want Turles to overshadow him again, but if it meant victory, he would make that sacrifice. He'd be like, you know what, fuck it. Let's wish back King Turles. I need him to help beat who's ever on Earth, because Earth would have been really... Earth and the Galactic Patrolmen would have been the only things that could have stopped them. And, yeah, it would have been bad. They might have been able to still stop them, but it would have been bloody, man. It would have been...
Yeah.
It would have been very bad. And knowing Turles getting a second chance, as clever as he is, he would have made everything... He would have made everything count. You know? So it would have been bad.
All right. C-Box news. Well, we just went over what the fuck happened in C-Box.
We didn't really go in a lot of detail about the recent C-Box event with Khalifa, really.
Oh, well, go ahead.
It's just really just a minor thing. It's kind of like I wanted... The concept of it was just to kind of show that things are still moving on. Like, nothing's really stopping. So even though, really, the Stellar Saiyans are gone... Like, I'm sure there's some people who's like, oh, this is Rom just saving his faction. Like, the faction's fucking done. There's no way the Stellar Saiyans are coming back. Unless some other member revives them. Really, Radazu, Corsa, and Khalifa and those kids on Daikon are the only ones left. So basically, what happened is that before Romanus went on a campaign to Kanassa, Zuka had talked to him about a staging, like, because Planet Daikon, or what would become Planet Daikon, is at the midway point between Planet Sadala and Planet Vegeta. So it's a very strategic and important potential planet, because they can use it as basically a launching pad for the final approach on Planet Vegeta. They could also colonize and make a base there, so they would always be able to, even if Planet Vegeta would revolt, or even say Planet Sadala revolted, if they had a lot of a small army on Daikon, they could reach either planet in half the time. So Daikon, even though it's a side quest, Daikon, instead of making a saga or something, it's just the location's very important, and there might be bonuses for stats. Like if you're like the ruler of Planet Vegeta, you might have to write less to take over Planet Sadala, or vice versa. It's kind of like a strategic location that you kind of want, and you don't want the other Saiyan planet to have, or a rival. And if a non-Saiyan owns a planet, and they don't allow you to go through that, if it's like the PTO, or if it's the enemy that owns it, it takes like double the time to get to Sadala or Vegeta. So it's going to be something, I want it to be something like that. That's where I'm going for. And if that's the case, anybody who's stats and wants to do anything with the Saiyans, inevitably their attention is going to go to Daikon. So Daikon's going to probably play a major role in a unique way, because it's actually making some of the form locations more strategic and giving bonuses. And so basically Supreme Commander Zuka told Rom, like, we need to take this planet. It's a great staging area. And Romnus kind of agreed, but he didn't have a lot of resources, so he sent one light cruiser with an old like Saiyan warrior who was beyond his like fighting capability, who just happened to survive. This guy literally fought in the Saiyan Tuffle War, so he's like as old as King Vegeta. So by this time, like, he's basically babysitting these Sadalan conscripts, and basically everything goes wrong. Like, they don't hear back from the Stellar Saiyan command on Sadala because they've been defeated by the Z-Teens. There's a rock slide which half covers their ship, making it immobile. They send out the battalion-designed, construction workers, and these hailstorms destroy like half of them. And so after that, like, you got these disgruntled disgruntled Sadalan teenagers, and they kind of just had enough, and they just ended up killing him. Khalifa kind of took over the mission, and it wasn't like a complete like betrayal because basically she said, "You failed the mission. I'm going to complete it." So she's almost like ambitious enough and ruthless enough to kill the old man, so that way when they do complete the mission and they can finally get in contact with Zuka, she would get most of credit, and so she would ascend in the ranks, even though they're doing all this, not realizing that their whole like faction and training is for their whole mission and training beforehand is for a faction that no longer exists because they lost communication. So they're kind of like stuck. They're kind of like a relic of that time period that are still like trying to carry out their mission, which I think is interesting. Though, how much you want to bet Anzu gets there? So I don't know what I don't know what's gonna happen if she does, because I mean, neither wrong. I mean, neither Blues or me, or I mean, neither Blues or I really have like strong enough NPCs to stop her. So
Yeah, not right now.
but there,
Cause
yeah,
yeah, cause Bulla, she's a Super Saiyan, but it's like she's not experienced, and she's still like 12. So it's like no, she's
well, I
not gonna be
mean,
taken on.
yeah. Well, I'm just talking about the Sadalan Saiyans who are stranded on Daikon.
Oh yeah, yeah. The only Sadalan Saiyan who would probably be able to take on Anzu is Shallot,
Yeah.
because he's a Super Saiyan,
That's why I've told you to
and
message
he
Shalat, so
held
that
his
way
own.
you give him a chance to make it there before Anzu does.
Yeah.
Because if Shalat found out that, like, he wouldn't know that they're most like the only ones left are Sadalan Saiyans, but just knowing that they're like Stellar Saiyans
And
still
then
out there.
Anzu is really the one who initiated the Stellar Saiyans takedown, because she was the one who told the fucking Z teams about
Yeah.
Romanus, and they were like, "Oh shit, Romanus is still alive."
Yeah. So even if Princess Olive had never
Like
made
that
it
was
there.
that's even before Princess Olive got there.
Yeah. So even if Princess Olive had not made it, Anzu kind of set events into motion anyways, to where
Yeah, Anzu came, and then Princess Olive came and confirmed it, and they were like, "Okay, yeah, we gotta go."
So it'll be interesting to see if what Anzu does in this power vacuum because
Yeah, because Frieza's MIA, Cooler's dead again.
you have this
Romanus is dead again.
you're gonna have this kind of theme of everything kind of falling into more of like a interstellar dark age where there's enclaves of civilization and order, but there's a
Yeah,
lot of
you might even have cameos from people like fucking BoJack and shit on Planet Hera.
yeah, because there's gonna be a lot of space that's more like kind of like outer rim-ish where it's not really there's not a lot. I mean, there's space pirates and outlaws and smugglers and
You got Radazu pirates.
yeah,
It's like Goldo is part of the Radazu
yeah,
pirates, and that's a whole fucking thing in and of
yeah. I
itself.
forgot about that. That's shit
It's like
too.
Goldo survived the slaughter
Yeah,
of the Ginyu Force and joined Radazu
Goldo
as
came
part of
out
his
on
space.
top. He got treasure and shit. Like he's a wanted criminal too. Ironically enough, so he
Yeah.
fits right in with like Radazu and all them. So it's hilarious. Like Goldo came out on top.
Yeah, it's like the Legend verse is really, really unique in terms of Dragon Ball Z. It's even way different from fucking the OG Legends.
Oh fuck yeah, it's better than that shit. And I really liked the saga I did with the whole when that kind of like animal chick came and Turles and Nappa and Raditz were up to no good.
That was Legacy. That was Legacy.
Oh, that was
But
Legacy.
even then, it's better than that.
Oh, I guess I got the two confused. I don't think I was on the first Legends.
No,
So
you were on in like bits and pieces, because I remember you playing as Goku in the first Red Ribbon Army saga. You played as Goku.
oh, I
Do
see.
you remember? Do you remember that saga event where like Goku was leading the Z fighters to Muscle Tower, and then they started using the Kamikaze Warriors, and he got like super injured?
I
Do you
think
remember that
so.
saga event?
I think so, but my
It was
memory.
like they were attacking Muscle Tower just as the president was giving the speech, and then Android 17 assassinated him while they were attacking Muscle Tower.
Oh shit. No, dude. I just I just have bad memory, bro. I probably was wasted when we did that. That's probably why. I guarantee you
Yeah,
that's why.
it was a wacky event because I mean Xanthi was in that event too, so it was,
If
that
you're
was a
saying I
wacky.
was there and I can't remember it, I must have been fucked up. Like I'm not even
Yeah,
gonna
it was a
lie.
wacky event because it needed like hours of setup because the way it was set up is like the president, who was really the part of the Red Ribbon Army, he had manipulated everybody into voting for him, and this was like he wasn't based on Donald Trump or anything. He was just a guy who had manipulated everybody into voting for him, right?
Yeah.
And so he had gathered all of the world leaders together at one building in Central City. And he was going to give a speech because he had formed the United Earth Federation or some shit. And he was like, "Oh yes, this is a toast to the United Federation." And it's like
Oh, I think I kind of
on
remember
the
now.
on the building right next to it, Android 17 had a rocket launcher.
What the fuck?
He fucking fired a rocket launcher in there. And as this speech was happening, the Z fighters were attacking Muscle Tower because that's where they had figured out that the Red Ribbon Army was behind it, and they were like, okay, if we take out Muscle Tower, we can take out their communications array. But the Red Ribbon Army had planned for that, and they blew up Muscle Tower as they were attacking it.
What the fuck?
They
Wacky ass
blew up
shit.
Muscle Tower. Yeah, they blew up Muscle Tower, and then the Red Ribbon Army basically just took over the world. They like marched their entire army through the fucking cities and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, dude. I ain't gonna lie. I was getting burnt out, but I have like my morale has definitely gone back up from completing this. Like
Oh yeah, man.
I feel like it's like I don't know, man. We've never done something for so long that turned out
We've
this
never
well.
done something so fucking big before. Cause this was
Yeah.
a big fucking saga, man.
Yeah, there was a
This
lot.
was a huge saga.
Yeah, um that's why I like what we're doing because we're like because it would be kind of annoying or I wouldn't want to do another big universal expanding saga anytime soon. So it's like going back to
Yeah,
Dragon Ball basics
this
is
is
like
good. Yeah, this is good. I think it
we're
was
so
good for a
switching it
first
up.
saga. I think it was good
Yeah.
for a first saga because it
Yeah.
switches everything up
Cuz
and it gives us a
we're
new
kind of
fucking
like
universe
we're
to
kind of like
RP.
GM artists. We're like, "Oh, no, no. We can switch it up too." Like we're not a one-man band or like, you know, we don't play the same we're not going by the same tune. Like we can do Dragon Ball shit. We can do Earth shit, so it's like, yeah, man. We'll keep switching it up on them a little bit. I want to tease them with. I'm teasing them with space shit now. It's like you get little glimpses of what's going on
Yeah,
in the
it's like we're
background.
going straight back to Earth.
Yeah, like Khalifa and Daikon. That's like a tease. Like there's shit going on, so it's gonna keep people kind of like, man, what's
And
going
it's
on
like
in
Oob and
space?
Rakutsu, they're going to be going up against
Yeah,
the Mercenary Clan. And I already teased the Mercenary Clan before because
yeah,
Oobs fought them before. He
yeah,
fought them with Krillin, and then they were
yeah,
always interrupting Rakutsu and Moth Violet.
yeah. What I want is I want it to be
So the
focused.
Mercenary Clan has been around.
I want it to be like focused, laser focused on Earth, but we like me and you sometimes we go out into space and just kind of tease them like there's shit going on in space, but it's not. Nothing comes about from it.
Yeah,
Like
because we have space characters like Shallot and Anzu, so it's not like we're
or
gonna completely ignore
what's King
space.
Zorn up to, or who's taken over as far as any like PTO warlords and stuff. It's like we could kind of keep teasing them like, oh, there's stuff going on in space, like or like maybe that commander convinces King Zorn that he has to take Daikon because it's that important. Like he just tells him like, look, if we don't take Sadala, there's going to be there might be a second Stellar Saiyan uprising. So we got
And
to
then
take.
Zorn could be like, oh, but we'd be making the same mistakes that Vegeta and Turles made.
Yeah. So maybe Zorn goes to visit Sadala
It's conflicted.
and he meets Shalet and it's like a big tense
And
moment.
then, guess what? I even teased that the Tuffles are back. So you even got the Tuffles on Planet Vegeta doing shit, operating.
Yeah, that's a little. I don't know if that'd work because I'd imagine the Saiyans would just kill him. But I think
Well,
wasn't
see,
it?
Paragus,
Oh, he made a
Paragus
deal with him.
made, yeah, he made it. Paragus made a deal with him, so they could at least have some
Yeah.
ships to face off against Romulus, like right before the Battle of Canassa. So yeah, he made it. It's like the Tuffles are not a huge population by any means,
I guess you could
but
just.
it's like a few of them like hiding out in like caves and shit outside of the Saiyan territory.
I mean, I guess you could say that they had like because it's an arid world. Maybe so you could do a unique thing like what the Saiyans didn't know is since it's so arid on planet Vegeta, what they did is they had like underground farms and shit. And so when they even though they lost on the surface, they just went down there to these underground chambers and they stayed under there. And that's when, maybe when Paragus Kingdom discovered them and they made a truce. It's like, okay, you guys can come up, you guys can live in certain areas, but you have to do what we say or some shit. You could do something like that, and nobody. What the fuck is anybody gonna say? Because it's still the Saiyan Tuffle War still happened. It's just some of them escaped underground. So, or maybe not farms, but like kind of like Constantinople, where they had this underwater cistern. So they have huge like water cisterns, but they could convert them into living spaces or some shit. So I don't know. Any of those will work. But yeah, I mean, if the Tuffles are alive, I always imagined there were Tuffle refugees in space. That's why I had some of them at New Haven. But you kind of caught me off guard with them still being on Planet Vegeta. But I mean, it's all good. Doesn't
Well,
change.
yeah, it's just a few of them, and
Yeah,
see, they're gonna tie into the second season saga, so that's why I
yeah,
introduced them still on the ones that were still on Planet. They're
yeah.
gonna tie in later. I'm not gonna spoil how they're gonna tie in, but they will. Important.
So yeah, I mean, as far as the only other thing going on in C-Box right now is it's fucking Code Witch and Cadogan are doing drama. Let me tell you something about Code Witch, aka Heather. You know, I always give her a hard time because
Slash Xanthi.
yeah, Xanthi. All she does is do drama shit with blues. And sometimes she tries to interrupt us when we're doing our own shit. But I will say this. As far as a coder goes and her helping me, and also making templates, she kind of redeemed herself. So I can't really be mad at her anymore because she's very useful. And
I told you.
she makes Blues happy, which I guess since he's happier, I'm a little happier because I don't have to deal with a grumpy Blues all the time. So, I mean, what the fuck are you going to do? I take I take it how I have to get it, I guess. So,
It's a win-win.
Yeah. So it is.
It's a net positive. That's what you always like to.
I should
Man,
just
these people are a net negative. This is a net positive.
I should just have an NPC just go and gank Xanthi, like, oh, we're bringing the action to you. She just gets.
Well, she.
ganked.
I wish. I wish. You know what? I'm gonna try to get her to fucking do a C-Box RP with Tetradia. Because it's like
I'll fuck her up.
Xanthi
I'm
and Tetradia hate each other, and it's like there's never a canon reason why they hate each other. It's just like on every iteration of every site that they have both been on, they've always hated each other.
Yeah, Xanthi has
And
a knack for staying
there's
away.
never been a real reason why they hate each other.
Well, Tetradia had a reason because Cadogan cheated on her with.
But that was even before. That was even before we're redoing the story. Because he's probably not going to cheat on her with Tetradia. Because he's probably not going to go up to Tetradia and be like, oh, be my wife.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that you retcon. Like, how much of that happened?
Yeah, we're completely redoing. Like, we're still doing Dread Island because but he's going to come up to Tetradia and be like,
so
hey.
Tetradia and Cadogan never like had any kind of relations. They were supposed to get
They
married.
did when they were kids, but it's been so long that it's like
Yeah, that makes sense.
They still probably might have a thing for each other, but it's
Well, if
like
you retconned a lot
he
of that stuff, then you wouldn't be as Catagon wouldn't be as wanted by the ESF. Because if you had all that shit, dude, they'd be
well
looking for
he
your
is a
ass. You
well
know?
he always eludes them because he's fucking magic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not There's a lot going on. We can't even mention it all here because we'd be here all night talking about it because there's plenty of side quests. I mean, there's still Mech Maverick and that other guy. You
Oh,
know,
that's season 2. That's season 2. We're saving that.
yeah. Because dude, Mech Maverick's badass, dude. He's basically just an evil Iron Man. He's basically what the he's basically um He's basically an ESF prototype project for creating, because he's the exact opposite of what Model X is. Because some in the ESF feared Model X because of what the Red Ribbon androids did. So their solution was to create, a power suits, and so that was the other option. But it seems like maybe the ESF made the same mistake as. The Red Ribbon Army went with the androids instead of the power suits. So you have Mech Maverick operating. Basically, he stole one of the power suits, and now he has it. So
Yeah, because they have mech suits like Zaku's and shit, but that's like
but they're
heavy artillery.
Yeah, they're mobile suits. Like these are like more power suits. Like
Yeah.
It'd be
Those mobile
interesting.
suits are like heavy artillery.
It'd be interesting if Anonymous actually mass produced. Like that was his way to liberate the humans, was to give them all power suits. Like that'd be.
Well, he did steal. Ow, shit! God damn it! Fucking cat! Ooh, shit!
You know, if you kiss your cat, it will turn into a cat girl.
Ow!
So you kiss the cat, Blues.
I tried to fucking
Kiss
put
the
her
cat.
down off my bed, and she over here latching her goddamn claws into my thighs and shit. Ow!
That means she loves you.
I'm sure she does. Fuck you. Anyway.
Oh, just
What
wait.
the fuck were we even talking
just
about?
wait till you get a girl and you're like having sex with her and she fucking claws you in the back like a cat. Like some girls do that. So just be prepared for that, you virgin.
Okay, well I'll be ready in the moment for that.
I don't know, man.
It'll be like
Sometimes they claw really
it'll be like
bad.
adrenaline. It'll be like adrenaline pumping through my veins and shit. So it's like it's not gonna be.
I mean, some bitches they claw like bad.
Like I'm eating a Pop-Tart right now. I'm not ready for claws.
A little bit of claw is okay, but like if they like dig into your skin, it's like it kind of takes me out of the moment. So I'm just saying. But I'm glad we just went off. We just went on a fucking tangent now. Like we're not even on anime or anything.
Let's see what's next in the fucking script. Forum news. Krillin continues training Oob and Sorora.
Yeah, this is happening before.
This is in the post-invasion era, so not in the aftermath.
Yeah, we really need to like break down these eras because this would be the post-invasion. So this is the post-invasions in between the Turles saga and the Stellar Saiyan saga, basically, before they even really know what's going on with.
And then you got the pre-invasion saga is everything before.
The pre-invasion is like your typical DBZ starting site, and it's just
15 years after Boo. Yeah.
So we'll break them down eventually. It's a work in progress. Now that we're freed, so I'm not heavily going to get involved in plots really. I'm just going to work on some backstory, and I'll do like what I did in C-Box today, little things we can plan to do. But it's really you and Rakutsu and Shalat, man. You guys are the star, man.
Yep.
And I kind of want to fade into the background. I had the spotlight on my villains. I'm good. I wonder if Dusty Broom's still alive. I wonder what he's up to. He's actually still in the present.
Yeah.
I would imagine what I'm going to save Dusty Broom for is if the Z-Teens ever go after any of the magic villains, like Dusty Broom's going to show back up and he's going to be a lot stronger. He's like, you ain't going to win this time, motherfuckers.
So I got magic now, bitches.
Oh yeah. He'll
Like
probably.
Katagon could give him magic.
Yeah, Tetrati or Katagon gave him magic items so he can like do certain things. So it'd be what I would no, you know what I would imagine he would learn is he would have learned the multi-form technique. So but he
Oh,
would so he could make himself into like 5 versions of himself to attack.
oh yeah, he'd be dangerous then.
Yeah. So
All right, so we got shipping news. Bulla X Urine.
yeah, Stoner Piccolo plays urine, and well, his urine is kind of like bisexual, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
So
she was like she was thirsting hella hard on Super Saiyan Bulla.
yeah, urine has the hots for not only Bola but also Moth Violet. So watch out for her. She the reason she is thirsting more of a Bola is because she knows Moth Violet's with Rikutsu. So that's
And Bulla saved her a couple times, so
yeah. I wonder how your Bola would react to that if she just urine just came up to her and was like she just kissed her or something. I think Bola wouldn't know what to do. I don't think she's been trained to handle that situation. So it'd be funny. Z-Teen Forbidden Love. Why not?
all right, let's see.
He has
Canon and OC matchups.
Blues has no
What?
comment for that one. Blues Blues has no comment for that one.
We'll see how it plays out. Cause I mean, I don't ship Bulla with anybody yet. It's like if I was gonna see, I wouldn't mind a Bulla X Pan,
Oh shit.
but it's like Pan is weird. But
Yeah.
aside from that, it's like I wouldn't mind Bulla X Pan. That
Yeah.
makes sense to me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Irish Pan, but we had to give
No, I mean I'd do it.
dude. Fucking Blues playing Bola is like the best Bola I've ever seen because it's the Bola I would want to play. Like she's badass. She's not like fucking GT Bola. She's a
And
Bola.
she fights.
Yeah,
She fights.
she's actually like a respectable Z teen. You know, she's not out shopping or shit. She's actually trying to be like her father. You know, and I like that. I really. It's like basically imagine we're back in Dragon Ball and we have Bulma, but Bulma can fight. And she has like the sarcasm and ruthlessness of Vegeta when she fights. That's fucking cool. And her brains. So she can actually like think tactically and stuff in ways that really other characters might not. So yeah, I like it. I like it. Jettison ain't coming back. I saw it. Looking down.
Yeah, Canon and OC matchups. Vegeta's Jettison. I mean, Jettison's Vegeta versus Stoner Piccolo's Piccolo.
I still have to visit Jettison's site, and I said I might play a minor character there, but it's like I don't know if I have time for that shit, dude. I really don't. Like, who the fuck am I gonna play there? Like Pilaf or some shit? It's like I don't know. That's up in the air, dude. Because I mean, I got Moth Violet on Arena, and I'm not really looking to expand out as much as I would like to. It's like I just can't. Too many
All
obligations.
right, we got Romanus versus Ima, round 2, Battle of
Oh,
God.
these are. You're talking about canon matchups. Sorry about that. Yeah,
Canon and OC matchups.
Vegeta Jettison versus. Yeah. I'm just gonna say Vegeta because Vegeta's just stronger than Piccolo. Now, if you said they were evenly matched, it could go either way because they're both like really good fighters. Like honestly, and I'm the biggest Vegeta fan, but if you say that Vegeta and Piccolo are evenly matched, it's gonna go either way. It just depends on the circumstances, who gets in the first hit. I'm not gonna say because Piccolo is just as skilled as Vegeta, really.
Yeah,
So
he's fucking Piccolo.
so he's that caliber of a fighter that it's really gonna come down to, you know, it's up in the air who's gonna win that if it's an even fight. Romanus versus Ima. Ima was that fucking
Round
round 2.
the Kai character.
Yeah, I mean, she can sense where Rom's at, and that's what really did him in the first time. Because that was an amazing battle, man. That C-Box battle that didn't really count. But if Ima
Yeah.
ever... if Rom would have to have more power, then he could stand up to her.
He'd have to have Super Saiyan God.
I don't know if you'd have to have Super Saiyan because he was hurting her, but he was just a Super Saiyan. I don't remember if he had ascended or not then, but back then he did, but he injured him too much to really go into it. It wouldn't have made any sense. But if Rom had Super Saiyan 2, I think he would have fucked her up. So it's more about power, and then in an even match, it's kind of the same. No, I would say in an even match, Ema being a god, she's probably going to have an advantage over Rom. So Rom kind of has to have more power than her. And that's like, I don't say that lightly, but because she's a god, like, and she has certain powers that Rom doesn't, like she can sense him no matter what. Because that's what did him in last time, because he tried to hide his power level and stab her with like a shard of broken space pod metal. Like, yeah, I think Ema's going to win. Unless Rom really like learns some better moves. Because Rom has some cool moves, but they're nothing special. It's not like an instant transmission Kamehameha like Epic, but he has some pretty badass moves. Like I love the shotgun burner is probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, I bet you you were surprised that Oob just fucking
he tanked the double barrel.
Because I love how he deflected. How I had him deflect the one that he was gonna do point blank. He just kind of just moved your hand up.
Yeah, it was a good battle. It really, and what made it better is Rom was using moves he had never used. Like you could tell he improved on some of his moves because he's never done like a double barrel burner shotgun. He's always used one hand, but he used both, and he charged it up to where he could just keep firing off shotgun bursts of key shots. And so he literally like ravaged that area with, it was looking like Swiss cheese, and then Oob just emerges from it. And that's when Rom,
yeah, with fucking Kaioken.
Yeah. So Rom really tried everything. He even used dual wielding Rom burners where he has, both his hands shaped like a gun, and he's like firing them off, and he tried to get him with that. I think what he did is what he
all of his special moves, and Oob was just fucking powerhouse in this nigga.
Yeah. Yeah, so I still think, well, no, now if Oob knows the Dragon Fist, I think
Goku
Rom
taught him the Dragon Fist.
I think Rom might have more of an arsenal of moves, but I'm not so sure anymore. Like, it depends.
Well, Goku taught him a few of his moves.
Yeah.
He didn't teach him everything. He didn't teach him like the instant transmission or anything like that.
Yeah, Ramus has an arsenal of moves, but I mean, it kind of makes sense, and they're all very deadly. Like especially like the kill zone burner and shit. Like that's a fucking cool move.
But see, that one of Oob's canon abilities is that he can mimic people's moves. So even if Goku did teach him like minor shit, he would have known it because he can mimic fucking moves.
It'd be funny if he mimicked some of Raminus' moves, even though he's dead. So I mean, that would probably.
Shit, he didn't necessarily mimic him, but that ability allowed him to kind of basically figure out Rom's attack strategy.
Yeah.
He knew how to counter the fucking Rom burner blast.
Well, he charged two of them. So I believe what happened is he fired one to get him to react, and then with the second one, he moved in for a point blank, and that's when you deflected it, which Rom wasn't really expecting, because it was basically almost the same move that he used on Moth to kill her.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he basically used his forearm to knock away Rom's arm and send the fucking blast off to the side.
The only thing that would have made that fight better is if we had actually, and this is fucking Gay Pizza's fault, is that we should have, and I know some people are asking who's Gay Pizza. It's like, well, if you don't know the lore, I'm not gonna like bird feed you, or what's that saying? I'm not gonna I'm not gonna hand feed you guys. You know, you guys got to learn this shit.
Yeah, spoon feed.
Spoon feed. Yeah, thank you. So
And we didn't mention this. Shallot came in and
yeah,
distracted Rom
yeah, because
long enough for fucking like,
Oob
cause he
might.
messaged me on Discord. He was like, let me get Shallot in there. Let me have him distract Romanus. I was like, all right, just
Yeah,
wait for it. And
he
he was
helped.
like, oh, okay,
He
all right,
helped you a lot more than you thought because
yeah.
I Rom, like, you should have known something was up when he only used one hand for his Giga Cannon and he fired it, because what he was doing is he was simultaneously charging a ROM burner, and so he was going to after image down while you were trying to keep the ROM burner from destroying the planet, and he was just going to shoot you from the side, and that would have been it. But Shalat fucked that all up. So Rom tried to fire the ROM burner at the Golden Dragon, and the Golden Dragon just went right through it because he, to fire the Giga Cannon and simultaneously charge up the ROM burner. I mean, he didn't have all his energy focused into one attack, so I mean, he was just fucked. And but yeah, Oob probably didn't even realize that, like how close he might have come to getting killed by Rom. Because Rom kind of knew that Oob is kind of still amateurish in some ways, and he's like, I bet you if I threaten the planet, this guy is just going to focus on that, and I'll get him from the sides while he's completely distracted. And the fact that Rom didn't put all his energy into the attack, he would imagine that Oob would go all in because he's like, I'm winning, and then Rom's like, no, you didn't, and he's just sitting on the side aiming his hand like a gun, and he just shoots like right through his fucking chest. That'd have been some horrible shit, but
Yep, Shallot. He
yeah,
came in with the fucking save.
he did, man. And that was pretty badass. That was like Vegeta firing at Cell badass. So I mean,
Yeah.
it was great. Shallot should be happy with himself, man. He did a lot of stuff. So, this is what Rakutsu could have done. I wish Rakutsu. I don't know why Rakutsu's so unmotivated, but like maybe he's just like, it must be personal things because when he's down, he's down. Like and he's funny, and
Yeah.
we love his character. So, I mean, I hope he.
Yeah, at least he showed up. At least
Yeah,
he's consistently showed up for every single fucking event.
yeah.
He showed up for every single event.
The problem with the Brits, I think, is we do things too late, but it's like I don't know how we can fix that because we already offered them. We're like, hey, we'll try to do it on the weekends, and I mean, these fucking Brits, man, they're the most difficult motherfuckers in the. People always say the French are difficult. No, it's the Brits. The Brits just say that so that way it throws it off, the shade onto the French, man. I'm sure if we had French RPers, man, they'd be cool as fuck. They'd be there for every event. They might be a little snooty, but they'd be there for it. They would complain afterwards.
They'd be a little snooty.
We'll say this.
Yeah, I have yet to meet a snooty. I want to meet a snooty French person.
Yeah, I mean, look, the French are just the French, man. They kind of have a. I mean, I don't know if they're all like that, but yeah, they definitely have pride.
All right. Let's move on. OC banter and ranters. Legends has finally surpassed OG Legend.
Oh, it's been past OG Legends. Fuck OG Legends.
Yeah. Original Legends had some pretty good shit. Like, I look back fondly on the original Red Ribbon Army saga, but it's like, I can do so much fucking better.
I know.
This Saiyan saga has shown me that I can do so much better.
Yeah, to be honest, it's helped me develop in a lot of ways because, like, it was kind of like, I would say that you were more like the director and I was like the co-director. I mean, I would suggest or do things, but we worked well together, and I mean that's kind of goes back to my it kind of goes back to my military days because there were younger officers than me or younger people in charge of me, so it doesn't I'm sure there's motherfuckers who are GMs out there who wouldn't like the fact that a younger person's kind of like over them, but that doesn't really bother me because it's more about working together. So I will say that probably my Navy career somewhat helped. And plus, I mean, if I like somebody, I'll work with them regardless. But I do like the fact that I can kind of be a follower and a leader, and I can switch those roles really easily. And there's not a lot of pride involved. I mean, unless like people are just being like antho clowns or nether apes, then my pride comes back because I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. This is wrong.
Right.
So, you know, yeah, I like. Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience for me, man. I really. It kind of had to go this way, because I would imagine if I would imagine if there were the others had been here who were part of the staff, they would have fucked this shit up. I'm sorry to say that, but you want to hear the hot takes of Rom? I honestly think if we had not had that schism with the other staff members, I think they would have fucked this up. They would have added something wacky or so. I know that's a shit thing to say, but it's like our visions align more because we like the same things. Like we argue over the most minor shit sometimes, or like, but for the most part we like the same things, and that's why it works for us. And we don't do wacky shit either. Like the battalions aren't even wacky to me, but the fucking.
Yeah, they're just cyborg people.
Yeah. So I'm sorry to say that, but it kind of has to be said. It's an elephant in the room that everybody knows anyways. So at least I think they do. If they don't, they're kind of retarded because, I mean, yeah, I mean we had to retcon so much that's have we had to retcon anything from the Stellar Saiyans? No, because everything was on point and made sense.
It flowed way better.
Yeah.
With the if the battalions make much more sense for the story than the fucking bug people.
Yeah, the bug people. I mean,
the bug people were just random.
Again, they didn't need to be there. That was really the problem.
And they didn't do anything when they were there. So I gave Forte chances to use them in the saga, and he just didn't. So I was like, all right, whatever. We're just gonna retcon them.
Yeah, I'm sorry, trans robot, but man, you gotta like. No, I called him Eskimo robot. That's it, Eskimo robot.
Yeah, Eskimo.
I'm sorry, Eskimo robot. I do like you as a person. I really fucking do. Like, I'm not lying or trying to play it down.
Right.
I don't. Yeah,
we love Forte as a person.
Dislike you, but like. I mean, I think you get it, man. I think you get it. And Gay Pizza gets it too, I think. Or if he doesn't, I'm just gonna, he needs to, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, Gay Pizza gets it.
He gets it. They all get it. They all get it. So, yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, those are good they already have their nicknames, but I like those nicknames. They work better for me. Like Code Bitch, or what do you call Heather? Code Witch?
Code Witch.
Yeah, Code Witch. Code Bitch might be a little bit too on the nose for her. She'd be like, you better stop calling me a bitch.
She'll just like dox she'll like no, she's not gonna dox anybody. She would just like ruin the site with code.
Oh, she would.
She'd like ruin the site code.
Yeah. Oh, she would.
Just sabotage the entire site code, like take away all the templates. It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, that'd be bad. She could really do some damage if she wanted to.
All right, let's see. Blues takes DMT and is disappointed. Was Joe Rogan lying?
Yeah, I like how you share your drug addictions on the program. I guess it's kind of like how I talk about alcoholism, so it's all good. Listen here, folks.
Yes.
If you want like a drug-free, like addiction-free, like we're not even like borderline criminal activity shit. This isn't the podcast or site for you because
you go to like Summit or fucking Souls or some shit.
Yeah, half of us should be in jail. Like really, like for half the shit we say. So, I mean, it is what it is. So I don't know, man. Like maybe it was just not. Maybe the DMT had been like a. Excuse me. Damn it. I think what do they call it when
I've had wackier visions off of just regular acid.
Do you think it was diluted or something?
It might have been. I don't know. Well, he did say it had some more herbal shit mixed in with it.
He diluted it. It's like herbal shit's is scumbag speech for diluting it.
Yeah, because it tasted like mint. So he's like, he added mint and sage to it. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I felt it, but it's like it didn't, take me through a fucking portal to the next edge of the universe or anything like that.
I ordered some Alpha Brain nootropics, and I need to get some more CBD oil.
No, order some fucking Brain Force from InfoWars.
No. If I could get is Brain Force Is Brain Force a nootropic?
I believe it is.
I mean, if they sold it cheap, but I mean, Alex isn't known for because the thing is, Joe Rogan actually supposedly takes the shit that he sells. Like, if he doesn't like it, he's like, I'm just gonna say Joe Rogan has a lot more credibility than Alex Jones, and I like Alex Jones. I know some liberals out there. You know, the Elizabeth Warren.
Alex Jones is right wing.
Yeah, well, go fuck yourself. If you don't like that, you know I'm a fan of Mr. Medicare. And if you know who that is, you should be really angry at me right now, and I don't give a fuck. He's funny. Even when he says racist shit, it's usually funny, and I don't care. If you make me laugh, I give you a
I love his fucking DeviantArt series.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
His DeviantArt series is...
Dude, did you see the shit where, like, there's a guy that's scamming people in Africa? It's like this African dude, and he's like, he's lied about making his own cars and car factories, and it's all bullshit, but people believe him. Like, he made his own, like, he's like made his own space program, and they're like shooting off like a miniature rocket, and like he has this other thing where he's like, he made like a armored personnel carrier for the government, and it's like a van with like armor on it and shit. And this is like people really believe this shit. I gotta show you the video one day because it's fucking outrageous. And yeah, it's like a cult, and he has churches around the world and shit. And they just
what the fuck,
bro? I'll show you this after the show. You gotta see it to believe it, dude. It's fucking insane. So I'll all right.
Painful RP scenarios. Z-Teens High School. The Z-Teens are forced to go to high school by the Earth Special Forces and have to deal with life as regular teenagers while also dealing with an old enemy of Saiyan who is resurfaced.
Well, I did say that when Moth Violet's wished back, she's probably going to end up getting arrested by the ESF. And then she'll have to be put on probation because she's been missing this whole time. Her parents are alive and wanting her back. So they're going to probably put her on probation and put an ankle bracelet on her that shocks the shit out of her if she does anything crazy or something of that nature. And she'll just go back to Hercule High School. She'll have to go back, and she won't be happy about it. So that'll eventually happen. It might happen after the Z-Teen Adventures, because I don't want it interfering with that. But eventually she's going to have to face the ESF, and it's not going to be pretty. Because Ma Violet's going to fight him. She's like, I'm not doing anything you say. And even when they do put the ankle bracelet on her, she's probably going to like go berserk sometimes and get shocked. They're going to have to like shock like Normie back into her. Because, I mean, even Delia's kind of like, why would I want to go back to high school? It's like, I'm a Z-Warrior. I can live at Master Roshi's place for free. You know?
It's like I fought alien warriors.
Yeah, there's no because maybe before she might have wanted to be a manga artist or, you know, do some kind of normie job, but now she's like, I don't want to do any of this shit. Because she's kind of like, even though she'll probably be like 16 or 17, she's kind of like already an adult. Like she's been away from her parents with Rikutsu, so it's gonna be rough, man. I think Model X is gonna be showing up there, or Crystal Waters. She's gonna have like a probation officer.
Yeah, it might be. It might just be Miharu.
Yeah, Miharu would probably like to do that shit, but yeah, Rikutsu. Rikutsu, for whatever reason, is trying to like butter up to the ESF, but I'll probably get the ESF to put him on probation too. Like he has to go back and live with his grandfather, and he's pissed. I'm gonna make that happen. Like it's like no, the consequences are coming, boy.
It's like, no, you don't get off easy because
No.
you're kissing ass.
They force him to go to school, but what they do is I'm gonna ask him. I'm like, I'll give you one option, Mr. Hayase. Mr. Hayase.
He's got to be the janitor.
No. It'll be like Mr. Hayase will move to Hercule City so he can go to school with Dalia, so that way it's a little bit more easier on Rikutsu, because Rikutsu would also be kind of like, fuck this shit, and he'll be trying to like break off the bracelet and shit. So
Yeah.
then we'll have our high school scenario. Then if you want to get in on it, all you'd have to do is get the ESF go after Oob. And dumbass Oob, knowing him, he would just go along with it. He wouldn't even put up a fight. He'd be like, I mean, I don't really want to do this, but you're saying I have to do this? And it's like...
He's like, I guess.
Yeah. They like force like Master Roshi to adopt him or some shit, and he has to like fly to school.
Yeah, Master Roshi has to fucking take him to school.
Yeah. So we could do that if we really want to do a high school thing. We could force it on the characters.
Z-Teens High School.
Yeah. It'd be
Let's see,
kind of hilarious.
The other painful RP scenario, Majin Gogeta.
Oh god. I mean, do you really want us to die like that?
Majin Gogeta. Imagine that.
So really the high school thing wouldn't it be painful, because it'd be entertaining for us because of our characters. And knowing Bola being a rich brat, she would probably be like, I want to go to the high school with all the other fighters. So she'd be like, she'd just buy an apartment and like have a servant or some shit.
Well, I'm pretty sure fucking Bulma and Bulma would have like a property in Satan City or some shit.
Yeah. So yeah, Bola would probably show up. I fucking guarantee it. Because why would she want to go to school with just normal people when she could be with all them? And then it would expand from there. I think you might have other members create like Z-Teen characters just for the high school shit. So it could become something that's like kind of like almost permanent for a while. So I don't know. You got to really think about it, because some people might get a little too into it. So if it gets too fun. So just keep that in mind. Because they're like, what are you doing? I thought we were going to go to school. It's like we've been going to school for like a year and a half in real life. It's like, it's over, bro.
Yeah.
We're not doing any more high school fucking...
Like we do 4 actual years of fucking
This ain't a high school RP site, okay? So...
It's like we have to get older.
Yeah.
All right. DBZ talk. Dragon Ball Super. Where is it now?
Well, I hear them. I've heard only good. I've heard a lot of good things about the Mora arc, but it's like when you talk about politics or you talk about Dragon Ball Super, bro, you're never gonna hear me say a lot of good shit about it, because I don't like Super that much. I think they should have stopped and they should have started over. I don't like the god forms. I like Beerus and Whis, but I don't like them always like, making the power levels keep going.
You know what I think they should have done? I think they should have canonized Gogeta by having him be like the fusion that fought Beerus. It's like they have to fucking fuse to fight Beerus instead of going fucking Super Saiyan God.
Sorry,
I think that would have been better.
I shouldn't blow my nose on air, but I really don't care right now. This is part.
It's like I don't see why they don't use fusion more often, because I'm pretty sure they could have beat Jiren in the fucking Tournament of Power if they fused.
Look, the power scaling has got to stop. It's already been ridiculous. And then when they try to overcorrect and be like, hey, wait a minute, Tien and all them are still useful. I'm like, how are they still useful? You got like god forms fighting in the tournament of power, and then you got like Master Roshi like going toe to toe with some of these people. It's like it doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's like I like that idea, but it's like it doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's too late for that shit, man.
Yeah. It's like it makes sense somewhere on Legends where we can just retroactively do that, but it's like if you're just pulling that out your ass in the anime,
look what we did
it just
on
doesn't make
Legends.
any sense.
I fucking tried my best to keep the power scaling down. Like Romulus is probably hands down the strongest evil Saiyan alive. Well, that was alive, and he was only ascended Saiyan. Like he was just starting to discover shit, and now he's dead. And he kind of took those gains to the grave with him because he didn't share that with really anybody. Maybe Corsa knew. So if if Radazu gets in contact with Corsa, she might be able to tell him that. She'll be like, because if he did save her, I guess that would be my reward. She'd be like, you know what? You saved me, so I'm going to tell you a secret that only that Rom told me. And it's like, he found a Super Saiyan form beyond Super Saiyan. So she could do that if you actually pulled off saving her, because that's not going to be easy. And if you want the Galactic Marshals to be hunting you down for the rest of your life, do that shit. Because then they're really going to come after you, and bounty hunters are going to come after you. And if Radazu has kids with Iris, or they kind of think about settling down, they're never going to be able to settle down after that. So you got to really want it. But I think if Radazu knew that Corsa had Rom's kid, he would probably want to find that kid for probably multiple reasons. One reason could be is that if another Stellar Saiyan survived and found out about that, if he snatched that kid, you could really have and if he got enough of a following with this kid, he could go right back to Sadala and start another one. So it's not only for positive reason, but it's probably for negative reasons. Like if I allow this, if this kid ever gets in the wrong hands, it could be really bad. So I don't know what Radazu would do. I mean, that's a lot of mystery there for Radazu and Iris to solve. But yeah, it wasn't a clean kill as far as the Stellar Saiyans go, because there's still some of them out there, though not any of the really strong ones anymore. Except, well, Corsa technically would be one of the strongest in Radazu, but that's about it of the adults. So.
All right, we got anime, comic, movie, and gaming news.
Let's see. Well,
games. Cyberpunk 2077.
The game's good, but the graphics are horrible. Like, they fucked up.
It was really buggy.
And the lore is amazing. I've read the lore on the wikis. Like, it's very good. And I think this...
Yeah, it's based off of an RPG game.
Yeah.
Like a tabletop.
Man, if you and Stoner Pickle lived closer, we could play those board games if we were really that bored. That'd be fun. We could get drunk.
Yeah, probably.
You know, if me and you and Zuka ever got together and played RP, we'd be fucking drunk doing it. Halfway through, we just stop or something, and we just fucked up. We just like fucking around. Yeah, it'd be crazy. It's like, I don't even know what's going on anymore. Do I roll the dice or not? And it's like, nobody knows what the fuck's going on.
It's like, whose turn is it?
Yeah.
Let's see, Resident Evil 8. Have you seen the trailers for Resident Evil 8?
Yeah, because that tall woman has like become a huge phenomenon.
The fine tall bitch.
Dude,
yeah.
She's almost as tall as Broly. They did a measurement, and she's like literally almost his height. Like,
yeah, she's fucking huge.
That's creepy, dude. If I saw a girl that tall,
yeah,
I would actually be afraid. I'm like, this isn't fucking natural. Like, what the fuck is that? I don't think there's a girl that exists that's that tall. So it would really be kind of creepy. Like, is she an alien or something? Is this like a failed?
I think they're starting to go more supernatural with
Resident Evil.
With Resident Evil.
Well, their whole thing was
I'm
zombies,
not sure.
Right? It was zombies?
Yeah, it was zombies, but it's like Resident Evil 7 didn't really have zombies. They had like these fungus monsters.
Yeah,
but it was still set in the same universe as the Resident Evil games that did have zombies, so it was just
Are
kind of
all the
weird.
Resident Evils connected, or are they some of them different?
Yeah, they're all connected. Yeah, they're all in the same timeline. They're all fucking canon. So it's
Yeah.
like it's weird.
Yeah, because they don't
I think
seem.
they're trying to. I think they're trying to. I think they're trying to retcon shit and like fix the timeline with the Resident Evil remakes.
Yeah.
Because they just made Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes. So I think they're trying to I think they're trying to fix some continuity errors with the new games in time to meet up with the timeline of like Resident Evil 4, 5, 6, and now 7 and 8.
Yeah.
You know,
Man.
movies. Wonder Woman. What?
Oh no, I was like, man, you really did a good job with the content today, man. I got to step up my game and start helping you more, cause yeah, man. Completing the saga has really turned you around. Like you're all excited about even doing the podcast. Like I'm proud of you,
Yeah,
Blues.
man.
You're really
It's
coming around.
reinvigoration, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. Movies. Wonder Woman 1984.
I heard that movie sucked, so I'm not even gonna watch
It's
it.
fucking trash.
Have you seen it?
I've seen most of it, and it's
Yeah.
like I'm
Dude, there was
honestly
this
disappointed. I'm disappointed because I liked the first Wonder Woman movie.
this I know some motherfuckers that say you have to watch the full movie before you can criticize it.
No,
I'm like fuck that, dude. Like if the
no.
people I respect say it's a bad movie, like if Red Letter Media says it's a bad movie, it's a fucking bad movie. Because the people that I like usually have the same well, the ones that I follow for movies like the same taste as me. So if
Right.
Letter Media
And the thing about Wonder Woman 84 is that it's the general consensus that this shit is bad. So it's not like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not like it's a fringe opinion that it's bad. It's like no, everybody
yeah.
universally agrees that this shit is bad. Unless you're like an SJW or one of those people that pushes the feminism in the movies and shit. And it's
Yeah,
like
only
it's not an overtly feminist movie, but
yeah,
it
fuck
has
that.
the symptoms of a feminist movie.
I'm
Like
so
Wonder
done.
Woman never really, huh?
No, dude, I'm so fucking done with woke culture. I was done with it back in 2015 and when Gamergate was happening, but now it's just like I hope things fail that push that shit now. It's like I think people are tired of it. Like there's too much shit going on in 2021 to be worrying about what some fucking feminist with blue hair who's never had a real job or life experiences has a hot take. I'm like, why don't you sit the fuck down? You know, it's like because I'm tired of it. And it's not really only them. Because now the elites and the establishment use all this woke speak and weaponize it to keep the populace down. So I'm done with it, dude. You know, it ruins everything,
Yeah.
man. Like I swear to God, if I ever catch anybody on our sites trying to push this shit or shut people up because it's like, oh, that's you can't. That's sexist, and they're not like joking about it. I'm like, bro, you're on my radar because if you keep doing that shit, I'm not no, because you're
Yeah,
gonna
and
ruin legends.
it's like the first Wonder Woman movie was
Yeah,
not it was made with the intent of being a feminist movie, but it was not overtly feminist to a point where it's
look,
like, oh, it's
Star.
ruining the movie.
You could say Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars is a fucking victim of that shit.
No, I'm talking about the
Star Wars is a,
originals. Like they didn't.
oh, okay,
It's
yeah.
not even that they never really attempted to make it a feminist movie, but they had a strong female character in Princess Leia. Because at first you think
Yeah.
she's a damsel in distress, and she's not. Like she's
But no,
capable.
she grabs a fucking blaster
She
rifle,
chokes
starts
Jabba.
just capping motherfuckers. Oh yeah. Well, see, even back in A New Hope, she was like, she grabbed a
Yeah.
pistol and she started capping motherfuckers. So it's like you
So
knew
there's
Leia meant business.
yeah, like I said, there's a great way. There's great ways to have like the point is that you should make a likable female character, and that is like kind of
Yeah, make a good character that just happens to be female instead of
yeah.
going in. It's like, oh, we're gonna make a strong female character. It's like, no, make a
No.
good character.
Yeah, just make
And
a good
then at
character.
the end of the day, if you want to make her female, go ahead. It's like unless her being female adds to the story or is
Yeah.
like adds to her background or some shit like that, who cares if she's fucking female? It's like Wonder Woman is
Yeah.
female because she comes from the fucking Amazon island. That's the only reason she's fucking female. Other than that, she's just fucking
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah, I think that's
She's
the
just
problem.
Hercules.
They're
A Wonder
trying.
Woman is literally just female Hercules, but it's like since she's a woman, you can do the whole woman thing with her. You know what I'm saying? That makes her unique among characters like Hercules and
Yeah.
Superman and Batman.
It's all
She's a
these
woman, but
it's
you
all
know,
these characters that they try to shoehorn in just for an agenda instead of just making good characters. You know
yeah,
what I
like
mean?
Rey. Like I can go on all day about
Yeah.
Rey
Yeah,
from the new
fuck
Star
Ray.
Wars movies, but it's like Rey, she could have been a good character.
My favorite's still
She
Kylo
had
Ren. I love Kylo Ren, man. He's a good
yeah,
character.
out of all the yeah, he's the best character out of the movies, but he's
Um,
still a shit
I
character,
think
but
who was
he's
the
just the
black
best
guy?
one.
Who was the former
Finn, he was
Finn
wasted.
had
He was
Finn was
wasted.
wasted potential. It's like they thought like, hey, let's throw in a black guy, but let's not like think this through because he could have been a great
Let's not
character.
do anything with
Yeah,
him.
that's that bullshit tokenism of social justice. Like they
Yeah, it's like,
throw in,
oh, yeah, because when they first came out with The Force Awakens
yeah,
and I saw the trailers and shit, I was like, oh, shit, we're going to have a black stormtrooper. And
yeah,
then they had the scene
yeah.
where he was holding up the lightsaber. I was like, oh, shit, he's going to be a Jedi, too. It's like, okay, all right,
That's
I'm
like
fucking with this.
when they try to do
That
social
would have been next
justice.
level. That would have been
Yeah.
next level. If they had a black stormtrooper who becomes a
Oh
Jedi,
yeah.
that would have been way more
Anything.
impactful than female Jedi. Because we've had female Jedi before.
Yeah, Finn could have done a lot because it's like they were trying. See, they were trying to. They created a black character, but it's like you almost were counterproductive because you created a character that just feels like they just threw in a black character without any thought. So they're actually counterproductive on their own progressive movement or ideas. Like
Yeah, and the actor John Boyega, he's even come out and he's been like
yeah,
he's like, "Oh yeah, they treated me like this on set. You know, I was supposed to have this. I was supposed to have more screen time. They cut me out. This and that, you know." And it's like, "Well, damn, now that I'm hearing all of this, no wonder."
how
I
about
see how they treated him
how
in the
about
movies and
this?
shit. It's
How
like,
about
"Well, shit, no wonder."
how about the creative execs stop trying to like represent black people because they do a horrible job. Now, if you don't know,
Yeah.
both me and Blues are black. I'm half black. He's full black. So,
Yeah, I'm
but I'm still
100%
basically
nigga.
black because that's how it goes in America. If you
You're
don't know,
black enough, god
yeah.
damn it.
So, but here's the thing I always say. How about these execs who I'm imagining most of them are white anyways? How about you stop trying to fucking force black characters on people because you really make people hate black people more by doing it. Like if you try to turn I was about to say black man. If you turn Batman black, you're actually making certain people, even if they don't admit it, you're making them hate black people because
Yeah, it's like, oh, why is
yeah.
Batman black all of a sudden? It's
How
like,
about you
oh, that
just
doesn't represent me. Oh, I
yeah?
can't connect to that. It's like,
How about you just keep
but
Batman white since he's a white character? Who gives a fuck?
yeah, Batman's been white for damn near what? It's about to be 90 years
Yeah,
or some shit now.
dude, you
It's
want to
like,
make
why all of a sudden change? It's like they have a black version of Batman. His
dude?
name is Batwing.
They
And
got
he's
a
actually pretty fucking cool. They have a black Batman. He's just a different character. He's not named Bruce
They
Wayne.
got a cool
So
ass black Green Lantern who I loved from the animated series of Justice League.
yeah, one of the OG black superheroes.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, you can do black superheroes without having
yeah,
to. And see, it worked with Black Green Lantern because it's like the Green Lantern Corps is not just one character.
yeah. Because there
It
was
doesn't really work with Batman. It's like, oh, you want this black guy to start
yeah,
being Batman. It's like, no, you might as well have somebody take on the mantle of a different Batman
yeah,
and be inspired by Bruce Wayne or some shit. Don't have him come over here and take Bruce Wayne's suit and start saying, "Oh yeah, I'm Batman." You know what I'm saying? It's like, no,
yeah.
that's not
And
that's not the way you do that.
and if you
You know, you
wanna,
don't have Superman. You don't have Superman just wake up one day and all of a sudden he's fucking black. No,
yeah, because you
you want to do
create,
black. If you want to do black Superman, you remember that movie Hancock with Will Smith? Do
yeah.
that.
Well,
Do that.
here's
You
the
want to do
thing.
black Superman? Do that.
These fucking corporate execs, they make all these token black characters who don't have any substance. This is the same problem with token female characters like Rey. You actually create more sexism or inflame it by shoving these characters that nobody fucking likes. Like, you're actually counterproductive, and in your goals, because I could name you fucking amazing female characters, Lena Inverse from anime. See, that's what I love about the Japanese. They don't give a fuck about social justice. They just make good characters and stories. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Not all animes are created equal, but I don't understand how the Japanese became more edgy than Americans, because when I think of the Japanese, they're all proper and about honor, and they're very polite, but somehow over the years Americans have just become like soft as fuck, and they're like, they can't take a joke. I mean, that's why anime is probably still so popular, is because at least with anime you can do whatever you want almost. And I don't understand it. It's the same assault that's happening on comedy. And it's just I don't get it, man. And it's just going to backfire in their face. That's why honestly, stop making these black token characters, stop making these token female characters, because you're creating more animosity towards women and black people by doing it. Don't make a black Superman. Don't make a black Batman. Stop fucking ruining characters. I like Superman and Batman being white. There's nothing wrong with a white character. You know what I'm saying?
It's not like me being black prevents me from relating to Spider-Man.
Exactly.
It's like I relate to Spider-Man on a fucking different level. It's like, just because he's a white character doesn't mean I, as a black person, can't fucking relate to Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly, man. But I hate when you got like these fuckers who are trying to represent black people and they make it worse. Like they're like a fucking retard who's like trying to do the right thing, but they're not doing the right. They're like destroying themselves and us in the process, basically. And I'm not saying, no offense to retards, but you know what I mean. I'm sorry, I'm from the 90s and ex-military. I say shit like that, and I'm not going to stop saying it. But I think that's what the people like about me, so I'm kind of Blues. If you want more like reining it in, that's why Blues is here. He's more of that archetype. I'm more of the loose cannon who's just gonna say what's on his mind.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I say some pretty off the wall shit sometimes.
I'm the one who's gonna get us banned from fucking YouTube. So stay tuned for that one. That's why we have that bit shoot up.
All right. So what do you think about the Justice League Snyder cut?
I've never seen it, but is it better? It's got to be better.
Oh, it hasn't come out. It hasn't come out yet. Oh. It's still in development.
Shit, man. I don't know. I mean,
see the original? Did you see the original Justice League when it came out in 2017?
No, it looked like garbage, and the reviews said it was shit.
I saw it. I pirated it because I actually went to go see Batman v Superman in the theater with my dad on my birthday, right? And I like Batman v Superman. I still like it to this day. I will say, if you go watch it again, watch the Ultimate Edition, because the Ultimate Edition adds in about 20 minutes more of footage that they fucking cut for the theatrical version, and it makes way more sense in the Ultimate version. But anyway, so I watched Justice League, and my God. Oh, shit.
I'm just posting something to taunt. Actually, I'll put in.
Okay.
Discord.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah. So I watched Justice League, right? I pirated it on my laptop because I wasn't gonna go pay to go see it at the movie theaters, and I was literally angry at what they did to the fucking movie, because I was one of the many people that was hyped for a Justice League movie. I thought, okay, they're not doing it the Marvel route, they're not doing the solo movies, but hey, a Justice League movie might work. We already know who Aquaman is, we already know who Flash is, you know what I'm saying? So it might work. No, I was wrong. I was so very wrong. Oh my God. The CGI was fucking garbage. It was a massive downgrade from Batman v Superman, because Batman v Superman to this day I think has some of the best CGI in a superhero movie. Like if you go back and look at some of the scenes, like where like the scene where Batman finally runs into Superman,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, dude. All I
but
heard was bad
yeah,
things
Justice League
about
is fucking
Justice
trash.
League. The Snyder
And
cut might be better, but I'm
the
like, how
Snyder cut
much?
might redeem it, but it's like at this point I'm so over the DC cinematic
Yeah.
universe that it's like
Look,
you guys jumped the gun. Marvel's done it. They
look. I
did the
was
Infinity War.
I was
It's
raised
like
on. See,
because
I was
I'm not even hyped about the fucking Marvel superhero movies anymore. So it's like I'm
I
really over it.
I could never get into Marvel because I was like raised on DC by just I guess choice as
Well,
a
see, back in the day, the only Marvel comics I used to read were Spider-Man and X-Men.
yeah. So you
Marvel
kind of
was
have a more attachment to Marvel than I do. I have like no
no,
attachment.
not really. I'm DC because my favorite superhero is Superman.
My
I have
favorite is
Superman.
Batman. No,
Superman and Batman were the two
but
comic books my dad had the most of.
who's your
So
favorite DBZ character? Are we different on that? Or is
my favorite DBZ character is Future Trunks.
oh fuck, I forgot. I don't know why I didn't remember that. Yeah,
It's Future Trunks,
well,
man.
we're not that off because my favorite's Vegeta, so I mean, yeah, that's not too bad. If you were a Goku fan, then we'd really be opposites because you're a Superman, I'm
Yeah.
Batman.
I mean, I like Goku. He's just
Oh
ah.
man, the first moment I saw Vegeta,
Goku would probably be like number 2 or number 3.
hmm,
But it's like Future Trunks just has that edge to him. He's just fucking cool.
yeah, I like Future Trunks too.
Future Trunks is just cool.
The moment I saw Vegeta on the Ocean Dub, I was like, this is the fucking guy I want to be like. Because he was like unapologetic and just, he was so fucking cool. I didn't like, the only thing I didn't like about him is that he didn't really care about Raditz or Nappa. So I imagined my version of Vegeta even before I RP'd, where he actually cared about Nappa and Raditz a little bit. And that's kind of where the concept of Romanus came before he even had a concept of Rom. So there's some deep Rom lore there for you. But yeah, I mean, look, I I mean, DC would have. I wish Justice League had been done better because I love DC, man. And there's nothing
They really did Batman dirty in Justice League.
really.
They really shit on Batman because it's like, Ben Affleck was already kind of too old to be Batman, but he was. You remember that warehouse scene in Batman v Superman? It's
Yeah,
like that was one of the best Batman scenes anybody had ever done in the modern age. So it's like that's the Batman I was expecting for Justice League, and he could barely take out any of fucking Darkseid's parademons.
yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck is this? Then they have him using like one of the parademon guns, shooting them and shit like that. It's like he's not even gonna try to fight him. Come on.
yeah. It's just and nothing against Marvel fans. If you're a Marvel, see, it's not. I don't. The problem with Marvel is kind of like it's kind of like it's kind of like Naruto. I'm a big DBZ fan, but I've never watched Naruto, so I don't. I sometimes I joke around about it, but from what I've heard from people who like the show, it's a good show. So I don't. So it's kind of the same thing with DC and Marvel. People tell me like Marvel is really good, and I believe them. I mean, I'm good with having DC and DBZ. Like I don't need to watch Naruto or get into Marvel really at this point in my life. So, um, but yeah, man. I mean, I don't give a fuck. I'm kind of done with superhero movies at this point, dude. Um, if they do some more Watchmen or something, I could dig that because I love the Watchmen. Um, that was really my favorite superhero movie besides the Nolan Batman's because I mean,
Yeah, Nolan Batman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are untouchable, dude, because those were fucking
Yeah.
amazing. You could even say like,
I,
oh well, the Bane.
I'm not. I'll say this though. As many people as they like The Dark Knight, Batman Begins is my favorite.
Really? Most
Yeah.
people say the Joker. Wow. Batman
Now, I'm not.
Begins.
That's not to say The Dark Knight isn't,
The
a 10 out of 10.
Joker Batman
Because the
movie.
Joker, yeah, because the Joker really
Nolan's
makes The Dark Knight.
Joker in that second movie was, I mean, hands down my favorite movie of
Yeah,
Batman of all time.
yeah, he's the best Joker anyone's ever had. But I feel like Batman Begins felt more like a Batman movie.
Yeah, Batman Begins was pretty good too, man.
It
Then
felt more like a classical superhero movie to me.
and then the standalone
Because it's
Joker
like
I love.
you got the training. Because see, in Batman Begins, you got the training.
Yeah.
You got the classic fucking Batman has his parents murdered scene. You got the scene where he's like, "I'm Batman," and it's like it felt more like a fucking Batman movie.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Dark Knight, it felt more like a detective movie that happened to have Batman and the Joker.
Yeah. Yeah, you know,
It didn't feel
the Dark
it
Knight
didn't feel
Begins
like a
wasn't bad at
Batman
all.
movie.
It wasn't bad at
Yeah,
all, really. Nolan made those. I mean, those movies are solid. You can
yeah.
nitpick
To
them
this
here and
day,
there. Like you could say, well, Two-Face should have been in more or less, but I'm like, it's all right.
it's like he was in there just enough.
Yeah, it was all right.
He was
We
enough
don't
to
need a
serve the
whole movie
purpose.
about Two-Face, which is just a guy with a fucked up face and guns. Because you know
Yeah,
Batman's gonna fuck him up.
because it's not like it's comic book
Yeah,
Two Face where he does all this wacky.
yeah.
Because
I
comic book Two Face has been wacky as fuck.
Besides the Nolan movies, it's got to be the Joker movie standalone, hands down. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, and the only thing that disappoints me about that Joker movie is that we're not going to see a Batman go
Yeah,
up
they can't
against
really
him.
do anything with that one, I don't think.
It's just a good movie.
Yeah. It's a good
Just a
movie.
good solo movie.
That's what makes it
Just
so
a
good
good
because you
solo
want
movie.
more, but you're kind of smart enough now
We're probably we
to
can't. We're
uh-uh.
probably not getting
No.
any more.
If they add Batman, I think it's going to fuck it up. I don't
I want to see that Joker go up against Batman though.
yeah. Yeah,
I want to see that
nerd in us
Joker.
wants us to see it. I mean, I kind of want to see it too.
Because man, if they had like Christian Bale Batman up against Joaquin Phoenix Joker,
Oh
oh
yeah.
my god, it'd probably be
Fuck
just
yeah.
as good as Heath Ledger.
And what made it better is like the mainstream news and these fucking SJWs, they didn't like
It's
it.
like oh,
That's
increased
when you know
security.
it's good. If the mainstream media and SJWs don't like it, it's
It's
good.
probably good.
It's probably good.
Yeah, because I remember the news outlets were like, oh, increased security at our movie theaters follow
Yeah.
for the Joker movie. Oh, this movie's gonna inspire mass shootings. It's
Of
like,
course.
but nothing happened.
Only
Nothing happened.
the only people besides the mainstream media and SJW like folk were like some of my idiot relatives. They're like, "There's not enough action." It's like, bro, you're like you have like you have a kid's like I love Transformers mindset. Like,
Yeah, it's like you see Joker and you think,
yeah,
oh, Batman.
yeah.
It's like, no, the Joker's more than that,
I'm
and that's
like,
what they were going for. It's
like,
like, yeah, I want to see Batman too, but it's like I know Batman's not fit for this Joker narrative because
yeah,
it's more
supposedly,
it's more or less a Joker origin, and you don't want
yeah.
Batman showing up in the Joker origin unless you're going for like the classic comic book origin, but they weren't
Yeah.
doing that.
These are just uncultured goons. They're like, oh, I don't get it. Where's all the action? It's like this.
Where's Batman?
The movie wasn't supposed to be about action like that.
Right. It's a dramatic tragedy.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't even make
Uh.
any sense. How many fucking action-packed, cookie cutter like assembly line superhero movies are there? It didn't.
Right.
It's like let that one be for the other people, okay? You have your Transformer and action-packed movies because I'm done with that. So.
Bad Boys.
Oh, before we go any further, I'm adding one to the list. I'm looking forward to um I'm really looking forward to the movie uh Dune. That's the movie I'm looking forward to.
Dune. Yeah, I saw the trailers for Dune, and I remember reading Dune, or at least some of it.
Dune
The
has some
original Dune.
Dune has some really good lore, man. The guy who made that shit put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, it was pretty much like Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings for sci-fi. But I read the first Dune, like halfway through the first Dune, and I kind of didn't like it because it was like super weird. Couldn't really understand it. But going back and like reading the lore and shit like that, yeah,
It's a very
Dune is
unique
yeah.
it's a very unique idea of sci-fi because
It is. 'Cause they
basically
don't have laser. They don't have like the kind of lasers and ships that
yeah.
Star Wars or Star Trek have.
And there's
It's
barely any
like
aliens. It's just humans evolve on these different worlds to where there almost
yeah,
are aliens, which is also
yeah,
interesting. So,
yeah, and it's the fact that just nobody's really treated Dune as as big of a property as it should be.
yeah.
Because Dune is really like the granddaddy sci-fi
Yeah, Dune
in
has
terms
always
of
had a lot of potential. They've had a lot of shitty low budget movies, but it was the potential was always there.
yeah, 'cause the
What
whole
I you know
fucking
what I would
universe.
actually like to see if somebody did it really well is a cyberpunk movie. If that universe would be fucking amazing. But they got to do it right.
Yeah,
No,
they got to do it right, but it's like I
give
feel
that
like the
shit to
whole.
Nolan. I don't know what he would do with it, but Nolan's
You know what? I don't think they could do a Cyberpunk 2077 movie because the whole genre is so
uh
like
well look,
the genre itself has ballooned so much,
yeah.
and now when people think of Cyberpunk, they think of something like Blade Runner. So it's like
Cyber
Cyberpunk 2077 kind of is being overshadowed by its own
huh.
popularity.
It's an
You know what I'm
interesting way to
saying? It's
look at
like
it. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's like maybe back before Blade Runner was such a
If
thing,
they
was so popular, they
maybe
would
if
have
they do
associated
it
that with Cyberpunk 2077.
cuz yeah, you're right. Blade Runner was an amazing the new Blade Runner was an amazing movie. I liked it.
Yeah, it should have got some fucking Oscar.
Um but I really like the newer the Judge Dredd movie because it was
Yeah,
simple.
even then, I would consider that a cyberpunk movie.
Yeah, it's definitely a cyberpunk movie. And it was simple. It had a simple concept. They're like, "Hey, we're going to storm this building." And so if you did that with 2077 and you kind of made it like more about the characters and not or I mean there's a way you could make Cyberpunk 2077.
I even like the aesthetics of that recent Ghost in the Shell movie.
Oh, was it?
It wasn't a good movie. I mean, it was okay. Like as
When
far
did
as
that come
anime,
out? Was it an anime or
huh?
was it a live action?
No, it was a live action adaptation of Ghost in the Shell,
Was it good?
and
What did you think of it?
it was okay. But like, I'm such a fan of Ghost in the Shell that it's bad to me.
So
But
you've
it's like
watched the
to
anime Ghost in the Shell, right?
yes, I have.
See, I never got into it. It just I don't know why at the time when I was a kid, but
Ghost in the Shell was one of the animes that inspired The Matrix.
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if it inspired the Matrix, it must be good. So I must have just
Yeah,
been.
it's really fucking.
I think in that part of my life, I was looking for more like action shit, like DBZ. Not
It's pretty fucking action packed,
okay.
man. Yeah, you're just sleep. But no. Ghost in the Shell had an anime adaptation, and as far as like live action anime adaptations, it's it's pretty good, but it's like we don't really have that many good anime adaptations.
Yeah.
That's a low bar. But as far as like a movie, it's okay. If you're a normie, you'd probably like it, but it's like we're sci-fi nerds,
Yeah.
so I'm a Ghost in the Shell fan, so I don't like it.
Oh, I will
It's
say
horribly
this.
miscast.
I will
Like
say this.
Scarlett Johansson is horribly miscast.
Yeah. So we've covered that. Was there? I have a show I need to talk about before we move on, but I was thinking. What was another movie that I liked that was sci-fi that was kind of in that realm? But I can't think of it. Maybe I covered them all. Blade Runner, Judge Dredd. Oh, I remember. I remember now. Another good movie was what the fuck is that called? You know what I'm talking about? Where with the it's a post-apocalyptic with the cars and the, you know,
Mad Max.
Mad Max was good. The Mad Max movie, the new one was good and it had good lore.
Mad
Like
Max
V8,
Fury Road.
V8, V8, V8. I just, oh god, it was good.
Witness me.
Yeah.
And they would spray their mouths and shit.
Yeah, I mean you can't.
Witness me.
It was everything you wanted in a Mad Max movie updated. Really, I don't have any problem with it. But what I watched recently, I watched Generation Kill, which was about a Marine scouting unit, and they had like Humvees, and they went from Kuwait all the way up to Baghdad, and it was a very good. It was a good show. It was a good show, man. It's a good show if you're prior military and you can appreciate it because it's not that action packed as you would think, but that's really how war is. Especially in modern times, you're going to fight and it's going to be short, and then there's a lot of boring shit and being in shitty conditions that you don't like. And so it was called Generation Kill. What I want to watch next as far as shows is probably Generation War, which is about they follow these German soldiers in World War II, and you get to see them. I've seen clips of it, so I might watch it eventually. But there's a lot of shows I could watch. As far as anime, I'm watching Gundam Iron Blood Orphans, but I've only gotten up to like episode 2 or 3, so I got a long list of anime and shows to watch, man. I mean, there's a lot of good shows, man. There's Mad Men. I hear is really good. I could finish The Man in the High Castle. I've watched a lot of that. I mean, take your pick, dude. There's a lot of good content out there. You just have to find it. But okay, Matrix.
All right.
Oh shit, we're not
So
even.
wait, well, hold on.
Oh fuck, we're not even done, dude. We gotta roast Heather and then Godzilla.
Yeah, telling Heather why Teen Titans Go is absolute.
Okay,
horse.
let me roast this bitch on this thing, man. Because look, this is my problem with it. Avatar, what I want, I guess this is kind of like my bias, but what I want is I want American homegrown anime. Teen Titans was going in the right direction. Even fucking Totally Spies was going in the right direction. I'd watched some of those episodes, and I'm like, I'm okay with this. It was a little too girly for me at the time, but I appreciated that they at least tried to add some anime into it. Or anime style. Avatar. They're all going in the right direction. So when they try to go to like Teen Titans Go or even have you ever seen the new, do you remember the Thundercats that was based kind of off more of anime?
Yeah, I do remember Thundercats.
They unfortunately that show got canceled, but it was great. The animation and everything.
Yeah, new Thundercats.
Yeah, they had the new Thundercats that was anime more based, and same with I believe the same with He-Man. Those were all the right directions. So when I see Teen Titans Go and all this weird like arts, it seems like artsy postmodern weird shit. I don't mind it if it's good, but this shit ain't good. You know, at least to me. You got Heather who likes this shit. I don't even know why. I try to watch Teen Titan Go. It's just too. I guess they wanted to go in a more kiddish route, but I don't know. I get what they're trying to do. They want to make it goofy for the kids, but I want American animation to get more serious, like anime. You can always have goofy American anime, but I want like some serious shit, and it's just not happening here, man. I think there's a lot of reasons. I like making anime version animation is costs a lot of money, so I don't know, but I mean, shit. I wish they made a 1980s style anime version of Star Wars. It would be fucking amazing.
Listen, man. The thing about Teen Titans Go is it's just
So
when
that
you
wasn't even a
compare
bad
it,
burn.
when you compare it to the original Teen Titans,
Oh, there's
it's
no
like
comparison.
it's such a stark fucking contrast. It's like why? Why did they cancel the original Teen Titans?
Yeah.
Put this bullshit. And then Heather makes the argument of, "Oh, it knows it's stupid. It knows it's bad." It's like that's not an excuse to be bad.
Yeah, so they're trying to.
Just because you're self-aware and you know people don't like Teen Titans Go doesn't give you an
Yeah.
excuse to be bad and shitty and be self-aware. It's like
So they're
no.
trying to be shittily ironic, and it was the same thing when they tried to
Yeah,
make a Teen Titans Go version of Thundercats. That shit flopped.
yeah, it's like when you replace something people like and that's actually good and it
Yeah.
was like culturally iconic to my generation, and then you replace it with this bullshit, and then you try to be shittily ironic and be like, "Hey, guess what? We're shit, but we know we're shit." It's like, okay, if you're shit and you know you're shit, why don't you just stop airing and
Yeah.
bring the shit that people like back? Because it's like
Yeah.
it's clear. It's like why even go through the effort of animating all of this and making all these stupid ass self-aware jokes that aren't funny, by the way. It's like why go through the effort of doing all of this if you know people don't like what you're
I,
doing? You
I
know what I'm
honestly
saying?
think it's the creative executives. They don't know what's good
It's
because
really just the money because if you know how much they air Teen Titans Go, you can realize it's just about the fucking
uh,
money. They're milking this shit for all it's worth
because
because they have so
the
many
new
episodes.
Justice League animations are very kiddish compared to the old Justice League, and that doesn't make any sense to me. Because, dude, if they made new Justice League, I don't know if they could because they really like wrapped everything up. But I mean, it would be more popular than the shit they're doing now. Because I've seen some of the new DC. It's like DC Channel or DC Universe, or you can subscribe to it, and it's like
Yeah.
it's too kiddish, man. It's like you know,
Yeah, it's like just DC doesn't know what it wants to do. But that's the whole thing. Yeah, just DC just doesn't know what it wants to.
yeah.
Even in the comic books, DC doesn't know what the fuck it wants to do because they've had like 12 different fucking reboots. So it's
Yeah,
like even in the
American.
comic book, DC just doesn't know what.
You know what I hope? I honestly hope this. I know I'll be old by then, but I don't care because I've never really grown up in certain ways. I mean, I act like an adult and I can be a normie adult, but I've never really given up my kid side. So if I'm like in my 50s or 60s and like all the old boomer executives are dead because it's really the fucking probably the boomer execs. And you start
Yeah,
getting millennials in there who have watched anime and zoomer execs. They'll create the shit that we like. I really do believe that. If they take over in our animation department and they're like fans of Teen Titans and Dragon Ball Z, they'll make good shit. I really do believe that.
yeah.
Because boomers don't get anything. Like they're annoying because they're like they don't even fit into the world anymore, really. And it's
They're
not only
too
that they
old.
ruin the
They're
world.
too old and they're too rich to be connected to the wider
Well,
world.
not all of them are rich, but they're just disconnected. They don't get
Well, I'm just talking
anything.
about like in terms of like studio execs
Yeah.
and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
It's like they're too old. They're too old and too rich, and now they're disconnected from the rest
Yeah.
of the fucking.
They don't get it, and it's just a fucking
It's like, oh, this is what the kids like, but you haven't been a kid and you haven't been poor since you were in fucking high school all the way back
yeah.
in 1956. They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
All right, Godzilla versus King Kong. Who wins and why?
I don't know if I'm gonna watch that movie, but if I was to give it to somebody, I'd give it to Godzilla.
Yeah, I'm
Just
giving. Okay, I
cause
thought we were. I thought we were gonna be contentious on this, but no, I'm giving it to
no,
Godzilla too.
Godzilla's
Like I
like
like King Kong. I like King Kong, but it's like Godzilla's so much cooler.
if you point a gun to my head, because I was just gonna leave it there, but if you point a gun to my head and want me to explain my reasoning, it's this. Um, I'm pretty sure Godzilla, in most canons, has like killed way more stronger monsters than King Kong ever did. So by that metric, Godzilla wins. You know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if there's any King
The
Kong
only thing,
fans.
the only thing I would give King Kong an advantage in is like mobility.
Okay, I got a better one for you, because
What?
we'll get a little deeper. The Power Rangers. What is the Megazord versus Godzilla? Who wins? That's a good one.
I
Oh, that's a good one.
see. See, I'm gonna give it to the Megazord just because the Megazord
Okay.
had more bullshit powers.
I want to get an independent consensus. So I'm gonna go on Arena's Discord real quick, and I'm gonna ask them because there's nobody
Okay.
because they're super nerds and they like Power Rangers. So I'm gonna ask them.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to the Megazord because I
Okay.
don't know, man. Damn,
Okay.
the Megazord can do some shit though.
Okay. I'm just gonna type
Megazord's
in. I'm
quite
gonna type
powerful.
in Arena. I'm gonna. We're randomly putting another show on the in. We're putting another random site on the show because I want their opinions. We're friends with them. They want to associate with us.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we want
The Megazord.
an
Damn.
outside opinion on our podcast we are hosting. Who would win?
Ah.
Power Ranger
Hold on, I'll be right
Mega.
back. What?
Is that how you spell it? Megazord? Oh man, Blues Mom strikes again. See what happens? Power Rangers Megazord? Megazord. Yeah. Power Rangers Megazord or Godzilla, and why? Because I honestly don't know. I wonder if Screw Attack did that. I don't fucking know, dude. I really don't know who would win. Would it be the Megazord? The Power Ranger Megazord or Godzilla? Man, they're both OP. I don't know. That's a tough one, man. I gotta get a consensus. I'm gonna also put that shit on I'll put that shit on the Legends one and see what they say. I'll get all the members. You know who we'll wait for Blues to get back while we try to get a consensus, folks. There's probably somebody listening to a podcast who has the answer, and he's like, no, you see, it's this and that. And it's like, sorry, bro, we can't hear you. But I don't know. It's like, because I remember them both being overpowered, and they fucking kill monsters all the time. So I don't know which one is stronger. It's really going to come down to that, folks. Whoever has the best argument wins. Whoever convinces me will have my vote. Whoever convinces me will have my vote. So we might have to do that. So we might not get a consensus for a while, folks, about the Godzilla versus Megazord. We might have to leave this as a mystery because I'm not gonna give my vote until somebody convinces me because I don't fucking know. I guess we could look it up on the internet. Let's see. Let's see what we can find. Megazord versus Godzilla. See, it's there. Why? Let's see what the articles say. Well, let's look at Quora. There's going to be some nerd who knows. I'd say the power... Oh, Rakutsu has an answer. I'd say Power Rangers because of all the extra shit they got. Interesting point. Yeah, the Power Rangers do have a lot more tools and gadgets, so Rakutsu says the Megazord.
See, I knew it was gonna be the Megazord because the Megazord just has more shit.
Yeah.
It's like the only thing Godzilla really has is that atomic blast. That's really it.
Yeah, so it looks like if this stays true and only Rakutsu has given his answer, I'm kind of leaning towards Megazord because I don't know yet. We might still have a tie if we get a whole bunch of people saying Godzilla. I don't really know, man. I mean, I could look it up, but I'd rather just go off the folks. I want to be the people's champ. So whatever the people say,
Folks.
yes. I don't know about either. I don't know about either of them enough. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Icarus is saying people saying the Megazord because what is it? Because the Power Rangers have what? More gadgets or weapons? What the fuck did what did Rakutsu say? Oh, he just said extra shit there, God. That doesn't go into detail because of extra weapons and equipment. Yeah, that's what he's saying. What I'm saying. I got two people saying the Megazord because of extra weapons and equipment. So it looks like that is winning. Blues, you here?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, I'm probably. Well, we could come back to this, folks. I don't want to just hold us up. I know I don't want to waste your time, but we'll get back to this. I'm sure people are gonna. There's gonna be a lot of hot takes coming in, and if we don't get to it this podcast, next podcast I'll let you know what my vote is gonna be. Or is Blues and I gonna tie up? Are we gonna have a rivalry now of who's better, the Godzilla or Megazord? Who knows? If we tie Blues,
I'm going with Megazord.
If we do tie up Blues, how are we gonna settle this? Are we gonna RP Godzilla?
We gotta RP Godzilla and the Megazord in the C box.
So let's say I need a week to prep. I need to go back and look at it because I want to actually learn their moves, or I got to learn Godzilla's moves. Fuck, that does seem like a disadvantage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Megazord.
No, he's got to have more than just the laser thing. So I don't know. Maybe he has
he could bite shit.
Yeah, he can bite. So, yeah, I don't see that many people throwing it up.
I think Godzilla would only really have an advantage in the water.
Yeah. That's
it.
But we got to give him even grounds. So I'd say it'd be on land because I have no idea how the Megazord operates in water. But okay, so we'll leave it at that for now, folks. And once we get a consensus, I will give my vote. And maybe
Matrix 4. Will it be good? I don't know.
Can they redeem themselves? Because I hear wasn't Matrix 3 not that good? Refresh me on what was the problem.
It was okay.
It was all right.
Basically, the problem with the Matrix sequels were they tried to be too brainy, too philosophical. It's like, you know how the first Matrix was philosophical, but not to a point where it was a detriment to the movie.
Yeah.
You could still follow the plot. You could still follow the internal logic of the movie. That type of shit. but the philosophical shit was there, and it's what differentiated the Matrix from a lot of other sci-fi movies. The sequels, on the other hand, they took that philosophical shit and they turned it up to 1,000.
Oh, I see. So not enough
And that's
action and
kind of
too much talking, basically.
no, they turned up the action to 1,000. They
Oh,
turned up the talking to 1,000. It was like they basically went overboard with what people liked about the first Matrix,
yeah.
because it's like the action scenes were bigger, the dialogue scenes were more philosophical and intricate,
I
and
mean,
it's like they just went overboard.
The original Matrix was like one of those late '90s movies that like really inspired a lot of things. It's up there with like Fight Club, which is Fight Club's still my favorite fucking movie. Like there, to me, no movie touches. Well, I can't say that because I mean I'm sure there's somebody out there who knows more about movies than me who said bullshit. There's like a Hitchcock movie that's more influential, but to me as a individual, I just love Fight Club. I gotta actually read the book. Like I read part of it, but as far as the Matrix goes, um, I mean it's up there, man. It's a fucking one of the probably one of the best movies of the '90s, hands down. So just that alone gives it a lot of weight, but yeah, they kind of missed the ball on some of the other movies. You know, you might have wanted just
Yeah,
left it
the
with.
Matrix. I like the Matrix. I like all three Matrix movies, but that's because I like corny shit.
I gotta rewatch them, man.
I
Maybe I'll
have
like
really
them.
bad taste. I
Maybe
have
I'll.
really good and really bad taste. So it's like I like really good shit, but I also like really bad shit too. So it's like I have really good and bad taste. But it's like I like the Matrix. I like the two sequels because regardless regardless of the quality of the movies, the action scenes to this day still hold up. Maybe like
Blues, you dummy. You're
maybe
trying to
like
RP with Frikutsu now while doing this.
listen, I multitask. But look, Matrix 4 might
Yeah.
be good, may not be good. Who knows? Keanu Reeves is coming back, but I don't know if yeah, anything with Keanu Reeves is good.
Yeah.
Not really, but anything with Keanu Reeves.
I hope it's good, man. I don't want it to go the way of like Men in Black or I mean, I guess one of the most egregious was
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the first few Pirates of the Caribbean were good. I want to say
The first three. The first three.
it was the first three. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take your word on it, man. I haven't watched them in so long, dude.
The first one is the best. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a long time either, but the
Because
first one is
Jack
always.
Sparrow is a great character, man. Like he's just
He was just overdone.
yeah. He always seemed drunk and he had a little bit of a feminine side, but it worked with him. I
Cause
liked
see,
him.
he was never the main character. He wasn't the main
No.
character in the first one. He was a supporting character. But then, like from the second movie on, they treated him as the main fucking
He
protagonist.
kind of was because he was such a good character. I could see
He was a
why.
good. He was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. I could see why they thought that it would be a good idea to make him the main character because everybody liked Jack Sparrow. I mean, if you pick any other character from that movie, they're like so unmemorable to me that I wouldn't even know why. Because it's like Jack Sparrow stole the spotlight in a lot of the same ways that Nolan's Joker stole the spotlight in Batman, but to a lesser extent because the other actors were pretty good too. It's just yeah. So I think there was a lot more of a void in Pirates of the Caribbean, but I'd have to go back and watch them because it's been a while too. But I would imagine I would still have that kind of mindset. So yeah, I hope. I don't have a lot of hope for the movies now, man. They're just the movies are getting worse. It seems like there's always a golden gem. I mean, there's always a gem now and then, but you know, it's
Yeah.
let's.
Normie news.
Oh boy, who doesn't like
Finally.
to talk about our dystopian present we live in?
Number one, Joe Biden is president now, and nothing will
Yeah.
fundamentally change.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel, and I'm glad. See, that's why we could get along also with politics because you're right there with me in the doomer zone. You don't like Jimmy Dore as much as I do, but I like the guy. He's on point with a lot of shit.
He's yeah. Recently, he seems like he's just been kind of going, kind of just ranting.
But yeah, I mean,
But I mean, I don't have anything. I don't have anything against Jimmy Dore.
it's I'm kind of
Like I
damn.
watch. Isn't he from? Didn't Jimmy Dore used to work for the Young Turks?
He did, and the reason he left is
Okay,
because
yeah. See, yeah.
yeah,
See, I watch Hassan Piker. So and he used to be on the Young Turks. So it's like, yeah, I don't have a problem with Jimmy Dore.
yeah.
I watch Hassan Piker.
Oh, you like him? Isn't he independent now, Hassan Piker?
Yeah, he's not working with the Young Turks
Yeah,
anymore. But yeah, I like his
the Young
I like
Turks
his
is
dude.
compromised.
I like his dude bro Chad
Yeah.
opinion. I like his dude bro Chad takes.
I will say this: as far as the Young Turks go, they've been compromised for a while because they've been taking Clinton money. So they've lost their edge as far as a progressive show. Because I used to watch the Young Turks, and I liked
Yeah.
aggressive progressives with there was an Asian guy and Jimmy
Well, see,
Dore.
now it seems like it's just Anna and what's his name, Jink. It
Yeah,
seems like it's just Anna and Jink now. When they used to have everybody on, it seemed like it was
yeah,
more opinions and shit like that. But now it's just Anna and Jink. But I mean, that's coronavirus for your ass.
yeah, yeah. Jimmy Dore's not right all the time, but like
Yeah, so I don't have a problem.
his critiques of of the left are almost always spot on. Like the fact that the squad is basically they didn't go along with like what was it they wanted to have a vote on Medicare for all or some shit. I forgot what it was specifically because so much has happened since then. I don't know, but they didn't do what the squad was supposed to do, and Jimmy Dore exposed him for it, and then you know AOC's like it's harassment, and she's just I mean these people are frauds, and Tim Dillon says the same thing. So if Jimmy Dore and Tim Dillon say they're frauds, I generally believe them. So because those are the two guys I respect in the comedy scene who are truth tellers. So and it's disappointing because I like the Ocasio Cortez. I mean, you think I wouldn't because I talk shit about a lot of you
I
know
think she still has potential as far as like
yeah
getting people on board with leftist politics and shit like that. But her, like, treating her as like she's gonna single-handedly change American politics is gonna leave a lot of people disappointed. Because it's like she's not the fucking messiah. She's not gonna change. She's not gonna single-handedly change how this machine has been running for the past 150 years. You know, it's like, okay, yes, she's a young Latina woman who's a democratic socialist, and a lot of people in my generation, and a lot of people, it's like that's not gonna fundamentally change shit. It's like, yeah, it might get people on the road to, you know, some systematic change, but it's not like the squad is going to single-handedly, you know, shift American politics to the left just because they have a huge internet following. It's like the country is still largely Democrat Republican. You know, you're not just going to get a bunch of socialists from the internet on here just to change American politics. American politics is at least going to be it's going to be neoliberal bullshit for at least the next 20 years. Like, let's be real. If we have another 2 terms of Democratic presidents, we're going to have neoliberal politics for the next 20 years.
yeah Joe Biden. I never really the guy was always seemed like he was a
My dad is a
neoliberal
huge
shill.
my dad, he's a huge conspiracy theorist, and he's like, well, not like a I mean, he's not like in the wacky ones.
Yeah.
Like, he's not into any Jewish conspiracy theories or anything like that, but it's like he was when he visited me the other
Oh,
day,
don't
he
tell me
was
he's
talking
into
about
QAnon and all that bullshit.
no
That'd be
no no.
fucking
He's
hilarious.
no, he thinks Kamala is just there to take over after Biden keels over.
I mean, that might be true because I mean, Biden is it's
70
obvious.
fucking 8.
It's obvious that his like mental abilities have declined. If you even look back at how he used to give speeches and shit, it's obvious. So, I mean, Joe Biden is basically a corpse. And the only reason he beat Bernie was because all the other neoliberal candidates dropped out to boost him up. So that alone, I'm like, fuck Joe Biden, man. It really should have been Bernie, honestly. and Bernie would have gave the reforms we needed. And so Biden is just like, to me, anybody who thinks either people are misguided who support Biden, or they just want the status quo, which everybody was miserable. Most of the working class were already miserable under the status quo to fucking begin with. So you're not going to solve any of the Trump supporter problems. So the Trump supporters aren't going away, and they're still going to want to find like Trump-like figures, and also Antifa and Black Lives Matters ain't gonna go away because he's not gonna solve any of their problems. And the what you would consider like us, a radical left, which we're not even that radical, we're not going away because you're not solving
it's
any of
not
our
radical.
fucking
It's not
problems.
really that radical when you
Eh,
take it from a fucking common sense approach.
yeah, most of
It's
our
like,
most of our left wing ideas are not that radical. Like healthcare is
yeah,
like a common shit in
yeah, it's
most of
not
the
that
world.
it's only radical in an American sense because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, we've been doing it this way for how long? It's like, okay, that doesn't mean we've been doing it well.
And I'm way more like agreeable with right wing people than even you because I'm partially libertarian and I do believe in gun rights. I think, but I
I
come
mean,
from
I just feel like a lot of right wingers use
yeah they
the
do.
fucking libertarian. They use the libertarian veneer to mask their white nationalism or whatever.
They
But
kind
it's
of
like,
do some of them.
yeah, you can be a libertarian and be like, oh yeah, I'm all for capitalism and free market, but it's like leave me alone and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
want government impeding on my freedoms. It's like, okay, yeah, I can dig it, but at the same time, don't use that to mask your fucking right wing politics.
Here's my thing about libertarians and communists. It seems to me that absolutes, like believing that everything should be unregulated, or in the communist idea, everything should be regulated and owned by the government, just doesn't work. Like
Yeah, there always has to be nuances.
it seems to me the most logical thing would be something balanced in between, like social democracy. It seems like
Right.
because you get the best of both. You get the government services that helps the poor, and you got government services like what would really be nice is like a public forum internet to where like there's freedom of speech maybe. Now you of course you have to have a
Yeah,
government you can trust to actually do that.
fucking public internet.
Yeah, a free internet for people. Since
Yeah,
the
fucking free
taxpayers were the
internet.
ones that funded it to begin with. It's not owned by Silicon Valley. And like
Right.
the highway systems are public, and those are great, and the streets, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, because I know libertarians, and they don't make that much sense. Like hardcore libertarians don't make sense to me, and communists don't either. Because like, look, there's no libertarian states that exist. That's my argument to them. Most countries are a mixed economy that are social democracies, basically. And there's no communist countries except for like North Korea, which is a backwater because communism has failed. Now you can argue and say, well, if you do it this way and that way, but I'm talking about the real world. What is the most common successful government right now in the real world? It's social democracies like Japan and Europe and America
The
to a
fucking
lesser
Nordic
extent,
countries.
Canada,
Yeah, because the Nordic countries
Korea.
they even have socialist society. Like they're not full socialist countries,
Yeah,
but it's like, yeah, they're social democracies. They have like public health care and all that type of shit. You know, I'm not gonna
yeah.
fucking go down the bullet
Yeah,
points of all the
and,
things they
and
do
the
have, but
right the right wing's always their argument is, well, communist China. Well, it's like, look at all the successful democratic socialist countries. Like you're gonna keep
yeah.
using or they're gonna say Venezuela. I'm like, dude, we embargo Venezuela first of all, and plus it's
Yeah, it's
already
like
a poor
Venezuela
country.
was doing pretty fucking good until we got involved.
Yeah, or at least it was doing better. So fuck off with that because you can
It
only
was
say that
fine.
to people if they don't actually know the details about like how we're embargoing and trying to like kill their
Right.
leaders. Like so, yeah, that
Right,
doesn't
just
work on
to
me.
prop up American
Yeah,
regimes and shit. It's like, no, leave other countries alone. It's like it's not the United States' job to come over
but
here and fucking assist the country. It's like, yeah, it'd be good, but it's like if you're only assisting this country because you have ulterior motives as an imperialist dickhead country. It's like, no, leave those people alone. Yeah, they might be suffering, but it's like, hey, they're suffering for their own goddamn reasons. They're not suffering because the United States came in and fucking depleted them of their resources. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
Oh, go ahead.
it's like, yeah, no, I was just gonna repeat and just like reiterate what I said. Go on.
Circling back around to what I think about arms, I look at it more from a working class perspective, where like I think a lot of right wing people, they look at it kind of like from they look at it from more like the old school, like kind of like land owning, like white people owning guns and protecting their lands. I get that, but I look at it more as a working class kind of left wing view on guns, that the working class should have arms so they can overthrow uh, the proletariat, is what they call it in the academic circles, right? The elites, you know. So I mean, I honestly think, if you really think about it, that the right wing and left wing people who are pro gun should like get along and understand that. Maybe they do it more for protecting their lands and families, and maybe we do it on the left for more for checking. Well, they actually do it to check the government too, but we're more like, it's more of a class struggle for the left, where we want the majority to check the elites, and if we have to, just take them out basically. If it gets extreme enough. So I don't see a problem with the left and right agreeing on gun rights, but I'm flexible. Like, I think there should be background checks and stuff. I'm not like one of those who thinks, oh no,
Common sense gun rights.
yeah,
It's like, yeah, everybody should at least have some type of fucking training to at least know how to shoot a gun properly. You know, gun safety should be a priority. You know, not just how to shoot a gun, but it's like how to properly store one, how to, you know, make sure it's on safety, how to make sure it's loaded, that type of shit.
yeah,
It's like, you
exactly,
know, don't just you know, take away these gun restrictions and then not give anybody any proper training on how to use these shits. Can it, you know, a gun, yeah, a gun is only dangerous in the hands of a person, but it's like, still, at the end of the day, a gun is a
yeah.
gun.
Here's my this will probably be my closing thoughts on it, and you can expand on it or disagree with it, or I guess we could go deeper down the rabbit hole if you want. But here's my thing. So even if you are anti-gun, you have good intentions, what if those intentions leads to a bad result, like the dissolution of America? Because if you try to ban all guns, like Texas and a lot of southern states and Alaska, they're gonna break away. So because they always like, anti-gun people always like to talk about the benefits, but let's talk about the worst case scenarios as a consequence for that. The breakup of the United States, a potential civil war, those are also potential consequences that are bad. So I think there should be a compromise. I think there should be common sense gun laws to where you don't have a retard, trying to like shoot like people up at a place. But if you're a responsible gun owner, I have no problem with you owning guns. Now I don't know if it's really necessary to have fully automatic weapons. Like, I think semi-auto is okay. You know, I guess maybe I would agree with you if it was like something like this. Like, you could own a semi-auto long gun, rifle, assault rifle, whatever the fuck you want to call it, or for like 10 years or so. And if you're responsible enough for that, maybe you could get like a fully automatic, long gun. But I'm still a little skeptical on that shit because, you know, some people just snap, man. Um, I would I don't know. You would have to have like basically a perfect record, to have a fully automatic weapon, dude, because that's just um you're just asking for a massacre at some point, because it's going to happen statistically. What can
Yeah.
happen will happen. So that's my final
All
thoughts
right.
on that one.
Let's see. Capitol riots, fallout, and what to expect in 2024.
Yeah, we never got to talk about the Capitol riots, dude. Um, it was fucking insane, dude. Did you when you were watching that? Did it feel like surreal? Like you didn't really believe this was happening?
I was like,
I mean, how did you
are we
understand?
literally having a fucking riot at the Capitol where they're storming It's like this is shit we make fun of other countries for.
Yeah, yeah. This is like some
Like what
banana
the fuck?
republic shit. Like you expecting like
Yeah, it's
Honduras or
like
something.
this is shit we look at, and this is American privilege. It's
Yeah.
like we here in America, we look at third world countries, they're storming their capitals and burning shit, and then we're like, oh yeah, that doesn't happen here in America. No, we can't say that no more.
See,
We can't fucking say that shit no
we
more.
use woke terms sometimes too in the right context, like privilege. So we're see we're a little progressive. I mean we
I
see
mean, it's like we understand
yeah
what it
yeah
means
we know that
without,
there is
it's like,
real privilege, but some people abuse that. That's
yeah,
what I'm
take
getting
it too
at.
fucking far.
Yeah, and cringe. So
It's like I don't think all white people have fucking
yeah
privilege. It's like, yeah, at the end of the day, a poor white guy is probably going to be more privileged than a poor black guy, but at the end of the day, they're both fucking poor,
yeah
and they both get shit on by the rich elite.
yep I
So it
agree.
doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. But um,
Yeah, the Capitol
no,
riots. When I saw like these fuckers in there with like they're holding like a Confederate flag. They're literally in the office. They're at the podium.
we're at the Capitol. Whoa.
I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like I didn't like I never like first of all what I realized since it was already in 2021 I'm like we ain't going back to normal, bro. Like
No,
these fuckers who thought like when Biden got in like things were going to really change. I or go back to some normalcy, which I don't even what is normalcy now? Like, you have to be kind of like out of touch to even think anything has been normal in a very long time. Like I'm talking things haven't been normal in America since probably 2001. Since the 9/11 attacks, we've been at war for 20 fucking years. That's not normal. That's unprecedented. And so since then, things have not been normal. If you went back to the year 2000, you told them everything that's happened, you would sound like a fucking madman. It wouldn't even make any
Donald
sense.
Trump becomes president of the
It's
United
been
States of
so
America.
chaotic. It's hard to really understand it unless you put in that context. Like if you went back to the year 2000, you told them everything that had happened. The 9/11 attacks, the wars, everything that's happened, the loss of rights. Like it's just a fucking. You couldn't write a book. You couldn't write a futuristic book with all this shit in it that anybody would believe. So,
Yeah, people
um,
people would read a book about our
oh,
current timeline and be like, "Oh, this is
this
ridiculous."
this whole and you could even argue that we haven't been normal since the 70s because the inflation hasn't kept up with wages. So everything's been getting worse. The factory jobs have left. Like, what the fuck are you talking about normal? So no, man. Like, things haven't been normal in a long time, dude. It's just really the cracks are really starting to show. And, dude, it's bad out there, man. And I don't know what else to say, man. It's just like, the Capitol riots were just kind of like the icing on the cake, dude. I mean, before that shit, remember when we were watching like all the cities in America rioting because of this George Floyd shit, and then we have this fucking coronavirus that's destroying small businesses, and we had the wildfires, there's been so much shit that's happened. I forget about some of the shit that's happened. Like it's and any one of these things would be a major cataclysm. That's how crazy it's been. Like nobody remembers the Vegas shooting where that guy went up in that skyscraper and just like
Yeah,
laid
man.
waste to like 100 fucking people with an
Yeah,
auto.
man. The Vegas shooting ain't Like, when did that happen?
And they still don't know what really happened with that shit.
I'm saying, when did it happen?
Dude, I think that happened back in what, like 2019? It feels like forever, but it really
No,
wasn't.
it wasn't in 2019. Let me see that.
Yeah, look it up.
Was it 2019?
I think it was. Dude, it just felt like a long time
No,
has passed.
2017. 2017. Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
7.
a few years have passed. Okay. Yeah,
Damn.
dude.
867 people injured. 61 people dead. Jesus
No, that's
fuck.
close.
Jesus.
Damn.
Fuck. That's worse than I fucking thought.
I guess you got to give it to our medical professionals because I'm sure a lot more would have died, you know,
Yeah.
with that kind of firepower. But
Yeah, man. Apparently, yeah, this is like lone wolf type shit.
uh,
Nah, this ain't. This was
I
planned.
mean, there was a yellow
This was
vest
planned.
riots, Brexit. You had all these right wing, fucking these right wing factions trying to take over in Europe. You had before that because of the Syria war. You had and the Libyan. You know, we destroyed like the Libyan government, so you had all these refugees
Yeah,
going into
fucking
Europe.
Gaddafi.
Like, dude, I mean, I don't know how. If you're not on my level of doomerism, if you don't really understand what's going on in the world, I really can't be your friend because you're. I mean, I could be your friend, but I'm not getting on some deep shit with you. Like we could talk about anime, but you're a problem to me in some ways. If shit hits the fan, you're not gonna really understand what the fuck's going on. So you're like a liability unless it's good times. I don't mind having basis bitches around me in the good times, but when it's bad times like this, I really don't want to fuck with them. You know, at least because I know if shit hit the fan and I'm hanging out with you, we kind of know what's going on. So you won't be like in a panic as much as other people would be. I would think, because you kind of know we're kind of fucked. Same with Zuka, same with Stoner Piccolo, but yeah, it's just yeah this I'm shocked, but I'm not really shocked because we had it coming. You know, with all this crazy conspiracy theory from QAnon, we haven't even touched the Epstein shit. That's what
Oh
really,
yeah, man.
that's
Yeah,
what
what
really made
happened?
The Q
Yeah, what
followers go
happened to
insane.
Epstein?
If there was ever one thing that validated the QAnon and Alex Jones was the Epstein shit because that was a legit conspiracy that was fucking real. And they literally just killed this guy in the Supermax prison. And if you believe the real story, like that's another sign that I got to get the fuck away from you because you're a problem. Because if you believe that shit, you're gonna believe anything. You're the type of person that would be in the German village and there's like a concentration camp in the background and there's ashes falling over and you're like, well, I guess all the Hitler youth are doing a bonfire or some shit. Like you just have no fucking common sense of what's going on. Like those people to me are dangerous. If you can't understand like why Epstein was murdered, you're like the guy who is like there's literally human ash falling on you in a village and you still don't fucking get it or you don't want to. I mean, those are dangerous people. They're the people who just go along with shit and don't ask questions. And those people are just as dangerous as the guards at the concentration camp, man. And don't let anybody ever tell you any differently because they are. You know, they're the types that will rat you out. They don't mind if they see you like a van pull up and they take you away. They'll just look the other way. They're not your friends. And when shit hits the fan, man, they really are.
Oh, this is normal. Yeah, that's fucking vans actually taking
they'll come up
motherfuckers
with,
off the street and shit.
yeah, when the vans come and they just take you away, they'll just come up with it's like, oh, well, he had it coming.
Oh, this is normal.
Or some shit.
Oh, he must have been a criminal.
Yeah. Yeah, that goes for anybody listening too. Yeah, if there's somebody you know that's your friend or family member right now at 2021 who's overly optimistic or they think things are going to turn out well, I'm more worried about them than I am somebody who's depressed or like, man, you know, it's been a rough year and I'm barely holding in there. I get that guy. I get that person. Or they're like, man, I was following Bernie or I believed in Trump, and it's just like we got fucked. I'm like, those are the people I want to hang around because they get it. They're like, yes, 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 you get it. The doomerism is flowing through you. You're starting to break away from the Matrix. But I can't be around the NPCs, man. The fucking what were the bad guys in the Matrix? The agent
Yeah, the Agent Smith.
yeah, we don't need no Agent Smiths and the NPCs, man. So that's and dude, we haven't even covered the GameStop shit. Like it doesn't end, and it's like it's funny, but if you realize how fake the stock market is and how it doesn't reflect reality, it's just like, dude, we're fucked. We're definitely like, dude, mark my words, we're definitely going into the depression or recession soon. Like you can't shut down the entire country. And small business.
I mean, you might just have to, man, because it's like
I don't even know anymore, dude. Because the whole coronavirus thing's been a farce since the beginning. They've lied about so much shit. And you got all these tech people who want to like keep some of this shit permanent, and I don't know what's going on anymore, dude. But like the stock market is overheated. It's way too high. It doesn't reflect the reality. Like take my home state for instance. You got the whole like podcasting and comedy scene. They're all moving to Texas. I know plenty of people from high school are moving out of state. You got like the cities are overrun with the homeless and these tent like Hoovervilles. Like, dude, you can't have that and all these failing small businesses and tell me the economy's doing well. It's obviously been overinflated. So I would not be surprised if this year or next year the economy went into recession, at the very least. And so yeah, man, it's I mean, we could go deeper into the GameStop shit too in a minute.
Well, let's see. Trump, where is he now? What is he doing?
Dude, I'm
Do
tired.
we care?
Fuck Trump. I'm tired of him. But before the Trump supporters get angry, when Trump was first campaigning and he was talking about populism and America first and bringing back the industries, I like the guy, and he's funny. He lands jokes and he can roast people, so I still do kind of like him, and he's entertaining, but he's a shyster.
He's a fucking idiot.
Nothing he said he was going to do really happened. I know some Trump supporters keep trying to tell me, but there's no evidence of it. The wall hasn't been built. I'm kind of indifferent to the wall. I don't really give a fuck if they build it or not. It makes sense, but we wouldn't need the wall as much if we just legalized drugs in the first place. And stopped, because then when the cartels lose all their power, Mexico could stabilize and they can actually have like a functioning country, So it's not really, the wall is like a Band-Aid. It's really, we need to like stop fucking overthrowing South American governments and, end the drug war, because, that's the problem. And so
this drug war that we've been waging since the 70s.
Yeah, so I mean, don't get me wrong. My honest opinion is I like that Trump pisses people off. I like that he made people angry because he would just say what he felt like. He's funny to me, and I did like his right-wing populism, but nothing came of that. He is a fraud. He's not really a fraud. He's kind of a scamster. I'm trying to find the word I'm looking for, but I can't. He's a grifter in a lot of ways, because he never did any of those populist things. And I mean, the Q people must be like crushed by this shit, because I mean, he was supposed to like help them and he just abandoned the people who all got arrested in the Capitol riot and shit. He didn't like pardon them. You know, so I don't know what else to say. I'm just tired of him. I mean, I don't like Biden, and I really hate Biden. At least Trump's entertaining to me and funny. Biden
Yeah,
is just
Biden's just fucking boring.
yeah, Biden's just fucking boring, and he has this cheesy smile, like you just know he's fucking you over. You know, so
Hey, I'm Uncle Joe Biden. Grandpa Joe Biden. All right,
all of you.
coronavirus updates. Monthly death toll. What is the death toll for
Yeah,
coronavirus?
how many people have totally died in America from this? Oh, and
Coronavirus.
Greekus was almost added to that list. I don't know if you know who Greekus is, but he's like a guy from our past
We've
sites.
mentioned Gree.
Yeah.
All right, so coronavirus deaths for the United
You said
States.
don't mention him? Can I mention that I told
No, I've said we have mentioned
Oh,
him.
we have? Okay.
Yeah, we've mentioned him
Yeah.
before.
Gree was almost
But
added to that list, but he survived and I sent him a coin.
all right, let's see. United States, the cases are up to 26.6 million. Deaths,
My voice is going. I don't want to get
451,000.
going, man.
We're at 451,000 deaths in the United States.
Oh my god, we've almost gone on for 3 hours. That's okay though. We got a lot to talk about.
Worldwide, total cases 103 million. Deaths 2.24 million. And out of those,
Yeah.
we've had 451,000.
What's the death rate? Look that up. I'll be right back.
Death rate in U.S. United States death rate. Ooh. Per day. COVID. COVID data tracker.
Yeah. Yeah, there's what's the current death rate? Blues
I'm
Clues?
trying to see.
Yeah, you're like our
Let's
Jamie
see.
because it makes sense because you're Blues Clues. You look up clues. So you got to be the
God damn.
Jamie.
Reported coronavirus deaths per day in the U.S. New
No,
York City
no, I'm
adds
talking about like
3,000.
what's the odds that you will die from this? Is it like 1.1?
Okay, let's see. Chances die.
What's the official death rate, or I don't know, like odds that you'll die
What is your risk of death from dying? What is your
from the bat flu? Because that's the official story, right? It came from like bat soup or like the bats. I think that's complete bullshit.
COVID-19 has a God damn it. No, I'm not about to fucking disable my ad blocker for fucking Forbes magazine.
Oh, Blues Clues.
Whatever. It's like 3,000 people a day. It's like a fucking 10%. I don't know.
What
It's
is?
fucking high. You die.
I'll just put the risk of dying from COVID-19. There must be a percentage. That's what I'm looking for. That's what the fans want. What is your risk of dying of Oh, now I'm on Forbes just like you. What the fuck? Dude, just give me a fucking number. They're not even showing it anymore. Well, I kind of know what it is. I know it's below 1%, I believe. But I just want to make sure. Because it depends on who you're talking to, too. Okay, let me just do it like this. Percentage risk of death of COVID-19. this is what I'm talking about. Like, there's no like, nobody knows what the fuck's going on with this virus. Like, then you try to get answers, and they give you a whole bunch of bullshit. Like, I'm just like, let's see, spreading mortality risk. Yes, give me the mortality risk. Yeah, fuck this. I know it's around like it's either between 1 and 3%, I believe, is the highest that it does. My point is that imagine for a moment, this is how fragile our modern world is. Imagine if this had a kill rate of 5%. So that means 5 people in 100 would die. And if this is what happens when it's like 1 to 3%, imagine like 5 to 10%. Dude, we wouldn't even be talking here. Like, we'd be in like a wreck of a country. I don't know if we might.
Yeah.
So that's my big concern. It's like
We'd probably have like really basic infrastructure.
if this virus was any worse than it was, dude, like, I mean, you could talk about like partial collapse of countries and shit. Like, it would have been fucking bad, man. So, yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, you're talking about like a 1% kill rate, and it's done all this. Like, if there's two things I really am sick and tired of talking about, but we have to do it for the show. But like, once this shit's over, and like the COVID-19 bullshit, coronavirus, bat flu, and Trump is kind of like in the back burner, like it's been a year or two, and I don't even really want to talk. I don't give a fuck if another virus comes up. I'm like, dude, I'm done talking about it. I don't care. Coronavirus 2 comes along. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about it. I'm tired of wearing masks. I'm tired of talking about COVID. It's like, go fuck yourselves. I'm tired of the shitty service industry, and I empathize with them, but everything's so fucking fucked up right now. Like, in my personal life, like, I can't get unemployment. I just wanted to go to Taco Bell. They're incompetent there. Like, nobody wants to do their jobs. They either people are unemployed or they don't want to do their jobs when they're there, because everybody's disgruntled, and I get it, but it makes life so shitty. It's like, I think that's how the whole country feels. We're just exhausted, dude. Like, I don't know how much more people can take. Like, I kind of understand the whole, like, let's burn it all down, because, I mean, it's fucking miserable. You know? Like, day-to-day life. Like, I'm glad I'm not working right now. I really don't want to be. Honestly. At least with my job, I was out on the boats, though. But I would not want to be at a shore site working security right now. Dealing with fucking people. You know what happened when I quit. You know, I had to use, like, a heat scanner on people. I was just like, fuck this shit, dude. So, yeah, that's my whole hot take. Like, I'm just ready. I'm ready for this shit to be over. I'm done with Trump. I'm done with coronavirus. It's just getting boring. Like, can we move on? I don't even care about normalcy. Like, can we just move on? You know, I don't know. Like, let's have a fucking world war or something. That's new. That's fresh.
Yeah, it's like, can we end this 20-year one and get into a new one? It's like, I want to see some new countries going at it.
I want to see us invade fucking Venezuela, or, you know.
It's like Romania versus Turkey. Like, shit. Let's get some fucking random ass.
Have Pakistan and India nuke each other. That'd be new. That'd be very cyberpunkish. I'd be like, okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, now we're going the cyberpunk route and shit. So, I don't know, man. We didn't
like, what if France, like, gets super right wing and they just try to reinstate the French Empire?
Yeah, something. I don't care what.
It's like Napoleon the 45th.
I mean, I love Canadians, but if, like, we could really use a war, and we could use the land. So, I mean, I love you guys, but, like, I mean, like, blues.
Well, no, I wouldn't want to go to war with Canada, because I'm eventually gonna move there.
Oh, you would just, I mean, they'll
Canada is basically, if you want to retreat from the United States, just go to Canada.
Canada should be the place we invade next, because it's right there. It's pretty easy to take over.
Well, why invade? Why invade Canada?
They have plenty of land. You can send a lot of people. Like, you know, we're overcrowded.
But why invade them, though?
I don't know. We're gonna invade somebody. We're an
There's no
empire.
point. All right, let's
Oh,
see. The culture war, is it finally coming to an end? Hopefully so.
uh, this doesn't seem any. I don't think it's coming to an end, but I think people are just tired of it. Like
Yeah, I think people are starting to wake up to it.
when the bat flew and people are like storming. Like I think people's like priorities are getting more in order, and people are just really getting really sick and tired of this culture war shit because they know it's a lot of it's fake. I mean, it's like we were talking about earlier with movies. Like the culture war shit is ruining everything, and it's both sides. Like I'm tired of the right always criticizing SJWs. I know I do that, but it's like I kind of have to because it ties into what we even do.
Yeah.
Because we've dealt with it so much in the past on other sites. So I'm tired of the culture war on both sides. I'm tired of motherfuckers saying on the right that it's the feminists, it's all their fault, or and I'm tired of the left being like it's all white people's fault. I mean that's fucking stupid. White people are a mixed bag because they gave us like Western philosophy and like the Magna Carta, but they also do horrible shit like slavery. But to be fair, every other major civilization, most of them have done slavery, or even worse than that. Like the Aztecs did, like art, like sacrificial sacrifice and shit. So I mean, that's not really saying much. It's just there's this anti-white, like woke shit, and I'm like, I get it.
People are looking for somebody to blame.
Yeah, I get it. But it's like
It's like, yeah,
they
we're not going to solve anything by just
yeah.
blaming white people.
It seems like the right wants to fuck over working class people and tell them that it's their fault they're poor and that their circumstances is totally their fault when really it's yes, as an individual you can make a lot of a difference, but it's not that simple. Like it's retarded to think about because we're not a free market. Like what they did with the whole GameStop, like shutting down Robinhood. Like there is no fucking free market. So that whole concept's bullshit anyways because the elites will just shut down the stock market whenever they want or bail
Right.
themselves out. So that's an invalid argument. Like that's been proven false. So I don't even understand how people can just ignore the shit that's going on. Unless they're just oblivious to it on the right. Then on the left, they want to blame males, straight males, and white people for all their problems, and that is
This
fucking
nigga fucking
stupid.
calling me for.
Better ignore that shit. We got a show to finish.
Yeah, I'm not
So,
fucking answering that shit.
so I mean,
10:36 at night. What the fuck is you calling me?
one of the problems with the culture war not ending is that there's such a huge divide now that they're looking for anything to blame the others on, and so I don't see it stopping. But I mean, that's another thing. Trump, the culture war, and the coronavirus. I'm just tired of all that shit. So that's why I have such a short like. I have little patience for like those types of people, man. Like if somebody comes in here talking about like, oh, that's, I mean, unless it's like legit like sexist shit or racist, like, and it's not a joke. Like I don't have the patience for it anymore, dude. Somebody wants to turn like Legends into a woke site. I'm not dealing with it. I'll leave. I'll be like, I'll make it. I'll be that petty. I'll be like, fuck it. You either I leave or you get this fucking woke person. It's gonna ruin the site because I ain't dealing with this
Yeah.
shit, man.
All
You're,
right,
you're
our
saying
last
pretty much the
topic
same
of the
way.
show: how Blues and Rom surpassed him and Pat.
Well, I thought we were gonna talk about the GameStop strongs, but we kind of went
Well,
into that.
yeah, we already kind of
Do you
did.
guys know what's going on with that? You know, they basically, the stock market's fake, and some Reddit trolls found a way to to exploit it, and now basically the rich, who initially invested in these failing companies, they got fucked over, so now they're trying to manipulate the markets and stop it. It just shows that I mean, if a short, uh, making a long story short, it's basically just showing how fake and overinflated the markets really are. And so I wouldn't be putting a lot of money into stocks and stuff right now unless you really know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah,
So
because playing the stocks really is gambling.
they've turned it into a gambling like thing. It didn't need to be like that, but
It's a
It's
fucking racket.
it's so unregulated, and they're doing weird shit. Like I didn't know I didn't know you could profit off of failing companies like that.
That's what they were doing in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, makes sense. So yeah,
All right, how Blues and Rom surpassed Tim and Pat.
I need another CBD oil shit, man. This shit has got me amped up, dude.
So Rom, how did we surpass Tim and Pat?
I mean, we've been surpassing Tim and Pat. I mean, I'm sorry to say that if you ever, Tim and Pat, if you ever listen to this, but I mean, I'm just gonna have to lay down the hammer because, I mean, I lay the hammer down on the art trio, so I mean, I'll lay down the hammer on Pat and Tim. It's like their biggest problems is they were never around enough. And see you know how I know we've surpassed them is because I criticize us for not being there on Legends around enough, but we're still here and we still did shit. So and honestly, if they were on the site now and they were doing that shit and they had major characters, we'd be complaining about them. You know, if Tim
Yeah,
and Pat just showed up now and then and they didn't play their cannons, it'd be no different than like Spanish Gohan or some shit. So I mean, and to be fair, like this is our hobby. Pat had a band. Tim had a lot of shit going on in his life, but um, still, man, they should have made a bigger effort. But to be fair, if they had been around a lot, it could have. I mean, Legends might not even exist. Like, who knows how things would have turned out? Like, maybe we would have never have done what we had done. So I mean, I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but
yeah.
I do know that. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know if Tim and Pat ever. They weren't here consistently enough, and I think we've basically outdone them in creating sagas and stories. And it's not. I'm not even saying that I'm more talented than them, but we've done it consistently for over fucking 8 years now. Like, there's a reason we're probably this. We can just create shit out of our asses now because we've never stopped doing it. And I'm not even saying I'm that good because when I see like D&D GMs, they're fucking really good. Like they take it GM into a different level than even we do. So there's always room to learn and get better. You know what it really reminds me of, Blues? It reminds me of the Majin Buu saga where Vegeta's beating the shit out of Pui, and Goku and Gohan are talking, and Goku's like, "Well, that's what happens when you train nonstop for 8 years." I always sometimes think about that quote, and I kind of just reimagine it like it'd be like, well, that's what happens when you RP or you GM for 8 years straight. You get that fucking good. So, you know,
We've
whew,
outdone ourselves.
fuck, dude. Ooh, I'm losing my
We
breath here a little bit.
we have outdone ourselves.
We
Dragon
definitely
Ball
have.
Legends
If there was any
season 1.
criticism, it would be that we made the sagas about us. But my argument to that is that nobody stepped up to make their characters like the main characters. So now there's no excuse because all my characters are dead, and when Sorora and Moth Violet come back, they're more like
Yeah, I think what shifted our mindset was when we decided, hey, we're gonna run this like a show,
yeah.
regardless of whether anybody wants
We
to.
had to, because if we went on the, and a lot of sites make this mistake. If you go on the momentum of the members, they'll take their sweet ass time and let it die. We learned that with the Saiyan invasion. I had to fucking fight for everything. You know, they wanted to drag their feet on the forums, so we took it to the C box, and they wanted to take their sweet ass time on the fucking C box, and I still to this day think they did that shit intentionally, but it didn't really matter in the end because I still came out on top, not because of some Machiavellian shit, but I just put in the fucking work, So go
Just
fuck
being
yourselves.
consistent. Just being consistent.
Yeah.
Being consistent.
So I'm sorry if that sounds a little egotistical, but credit where credit's due, man.
And now I even feel like our consistency has given way to somebody like Iona. With now they've got Anzu,
Yeah,
who fits way more into the plot than their previous character, who's
yeah.
like interacted way more with everybody. Because she was even RPing with Romanus out in fucking space, and then she was with the Z teens on Earth. So it's like
Iona
she,
has
even
basically the
Iona has,
golden ticket as far as space goes because I've
yeah,
I've stated like I'm not there is no like Stellar Saiyans 2.0 unless it's a member who does it. Like I'm taking a back seat now, man. Um,
yeah.
but that was the point is we have
Yeah, it's like after the Stellar Saiyans, it's like what can you really do with the Saiyans? It's like
yeah
this was pretty much the biggest Saiyan saga anybody could have ever asked.
yeah yeah pretty much and
Because this was galactic. This was galactic scale. You know, you got an entire army of Saiyans invading planet Earth. Then you got the remnants of that army operating all the way in space, taking over and blowing up different planets and shit. So
so what
it's
I
like,
want I guess moving forward is thinking about things. What I need you to do is I need you to create a an advertisement template, and I actually have an idea that might work. Um, well, I don't know if I want to do that, but just create a good advertisement, and I'll help you out. If you for every one place you advertise, I'll match you. If that will motivate you more to advertise, so that basically you get double of what you do. So if you even if you do 3 a week, I'll match you on that. So if that motivates you, so you don't feel like you're doing everything by yourself. And I will
yeah,
definitely be working on the backstory of my characters, and I'll be doing little things like I did with Khalifa. I don't want to make big. I don't want them to grow into big things unless the members kind of will it into action. So it's kind of
right,
like teasers that they can go to if they want to, but I'm not gonna. We got to kind of stop ourselves from because I know me and you, if we get a little bit too into like Khalifa or like those Saiyans, we could turn that into a whole thing. So we got to kind of like check ourselves and keep it focused on the Z teens no matter what. So it's kind of like what we should do is we should have an imaginary boss, and he's like task us with basically they what the board wants us to do as creators is to create a Z teen show. And if we don't create a Z teen show, we're fucked and we get fired. So if we
yeah,
if we have that mindset, then they're basically like this. We want you to create a Z teen show for the next saga, but we also want you to have little things going on in the space, so that way it entices people that there's like the universe is still alive. And that would be our because that's our biggest weakness is we're very our attention spans are kind of low and we like to expand out till we have like multiple stories. So we got to be disciplined and just focus on one at a time, I think. So, in the if the only way we should split it is if Anzu or others or Shallette like will it to happen basically. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like they're running the show and we'll kind of go along with them instead of us doing it. Like our focus will be on the Z teens for the most part. So, but do you have any thoughts on that or anything to add or what do you think?
no, I'm just really liking where the direction where everything is going. I think it was a great idea to run this like a true anime instead of a RPG
Oh
like
fuck
we were
yeah.
going, because it's like we can run it like a RPG now for season 2, now that we have the lore figured out. I have more of the revamped stat system figured out, so now we can run it more like a RPG. But running it like an anime for season 1 and just getting the story, just like pure story and
Yeah.
pure action without having to figure out any numbers or anything like that, that I feel like made it a better experience and made it feel like way more of an anime than trying to figure out, oh, how strong is Ramen is supposed to be, oh, how strong is Oob supposed to be. It's like, no, just have him fight,
Yeah.
and Oob can. It's like, oh, Oob can fight a Super Saiyan. It's like, yeah, because he got fucking energy from everybody in Otherworld. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, we're just
So
trying to tell
it's
good
like,
stories, basically. Is what we're.
yeah. So
That's our kind of
so when we
running theme.
yeah, so when we condensed everything, when we decided, hey, we're gonna go back and streamline the saga backstory, when we're gonna take out characters that really didn't were
So
inconsequential, like how Zuka didn't want to do anything. We're basically taking Zuka's character and filling in what he
yeah,
should have been doing.
like
It's like, and
Zuka
he's
said, I
fine
could
with,
do
and
it.
he's fine with that. Zuka's fine with that. So I mean,
Yeah,
he doesn't give a shit. So we're just gonna fill in for Zuka where he should have been in the
yeah.
story, and then Radazu, we're gonna have to fit him in somewhere in the story, but that's easy because Radazu can just easily replace Garlic Jr. You know what I'm
Zuka, I'm
saying?
just gonna make an NPC, and I might have some backstory for him too. You know, um, but yeah, I mean, as far as the Z teens go, yes, I want it to be more about like the members. I know that you play a main character, Oob, and so that kind of forces you to be the main character. But I really do want them to drive the story. But I'm always gonna keep it as a like if I didn't tell you, I would eventually tell you. But I might as well just tell you now. If they don't drive it forward, well, here's the thing. When we're ready to really do the Z Teen shit, by then I would hope that the advertisement has gone out and we're getting new members. We still got to fix the stat system before that. Hopefully, a lot of backstory and shit will be up, and my profiles will be done. By the time the Z Teen shit happens, if none of the members are pushing it forward, our backup nuclear option would be to run it again like an anime. It's like, oh, if you're not gonna do anything, we'll make it happen again. Because I will not allow lazy members to destroy what we fucking built. If I have to come back harder and more active to do it, I will try to my best I can. But it's more you're gonna have to be the tip of the spear, and I'll be more of support, and we could do it like that pretty much. I think,
Yeah.
and that's what should be the backup plan. So if anybody's listening to that, they know our nuclear option. So you know, that's the benefit of listening to the program. But I mean, we always got to have a backup plan because, like, yeah, I hope we get new people. I think new people will change the game, and yeah, that's my the best hope is for the site to start to become more independently active and not always going on the rhythm of me and you. Because if it keeps doing that, it might become a problem at some point. Because I don't know if we could keep it up all the time. Because it would be nice if like the if people kept posting and doing their own thing and like you could take a break for a month and shit would still be running pretty well. Like you could show up like a little bit every day, but you're like, hey, I'm taking a break, but everything's still running. And I also think that at some point you're gonna have to hire staff members if it
Yeah,
grows.
of
So
course.
that's going to be a big thing for you because I mean you've been kind of running it, by yourself with me helping out, but eventually you're going to have to give up some power and kind of trust some people to do things. My only advice to you is to give them the best thing to do to not create like an art trio takeover is to give them. If I was you, I would hire admins maybe, but you might just need mods and just give a mod like one task. Like have a mod that does grading. So they're never in a
Yeah.
position to where they could just kind of like become pseudo admins and take over. If you forever reason like got hit by a car or sick or some shit, or just like got into like a big depression and you were gone for a while, there's no like there's no really way for them to usurp it. And if you do have admins, they're like trustable, and like they're not gonna fuck things up or fuck you over. So like so You just got to kind of like think about that and how you want to do it. Oh man, it's been a long ass podcast, dude.
Yeah. But that was our last topic, so this has been a pretty good fucking episode.
Yeah, this episode's good, man. I'm hoping the audio's good, and if it is, this will be a great first start for the podcast this year. I guess the only thing we need to check now before we check out is if anybody is um, said anything about the Megazord shit. Let's see. Uh, what the fuck? Did they erase my shit? That'd be fucking low even for them. Uh, why would they do that? Or did I post it in somewhere else? Oh, I posted it in the wrong fucking. God damn it. Whatever. Whatever. I'm gonna say Megazord. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
Megazord.
I'm gonna
So
say Megazord too.
yeah, I'm gonna say Megazord. So, folks, we're checking out. Do you want to stay behind for a little bit, or
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go get some cigs.
Yeah, because I don't know if you're still RPing with Rakutsu, but yeah, I'm like,
I kind of fell out.
oh, he did. Yeah,
Oh
I'm
no.
feeling it, man. I'm getting a little tired, but I hope you enjoyed it. This has been a pretty good podcast, and we're about to check out. We'll see you all later.